Lin Moyu is getting closer and closer to the whirlpool, and he can feel the breath of the Dragon Ball more clearly. He was sure that his feeling was correct. The suction force was constantly generated in the vortex, firmly sucking the Dragon Ball. At the same time, this suction force also sucked away a large amount of flames. The Dragon Ball was rising and falling in the flames, showing no signs of being refined. Now that he has decided what to do, Lin Moyu has become very straightforward. He rushed towards the whirlpool quickly, crashed into the flames, and rushed in without any resistance against the suction of the whirlpool. Because of his appearance, the flames became slightly distorted, immediately attracting the attention of the three otherworldly demons. A demon growled, "Why did I feel like there was someone just now?" His voice echoed within the barrier, deafening. "Did you see it wrong? There is no one here?" "That's it, I don't feel anything at all. With the Demon Lord's barrier around, how could there be anyone there?" "I'm afraid you're asleep or dreaming." The demon was a little strange, but looking around, there seemed to be no one around. He could only choose whether he saw it wrong or he really fell asleep. After all, they have been here for hundreds of years and have never rested for a moment. Longzhu is still going its own way, no different from when they first arrived. If it weren't for the Demon Lord's order pressing down on their heads, they would have stopped wanting to do it. The demon sighed, "Maybe I'm really wrong. It's so boring here. I don't know when someone will come to replace us." Another demon responded, "The Demon Lord said back then that he wanted us to refine the dragon beads here for 500 years. Now 389 years have passed and there are still 1011 years left. It's 111 years. It's such a sad day. It's okay to send us some female demons. You think too much, or the devil will come and destroy you. The Demon Lord hasn't been here for a long time. I don't know what to do. The Demon Lord's affairs are also something you and I can take care of. Take care of yourself and be honest and obedient. There is no shortage of the three of us on the other side in the clan." The three people discussed for a while, which made the barrier a lot more lively for a while. Lin Moyu entered the whirlpool, and his vision became clear again from blur. The scent of flowers and plants penetrates the tip of the nose, with a slightly fresh meaning. But there is a completely different contrast between the fragrance and the picture. A large amount of flames fell from the sky and fell on the ground, because the surface of the ground was covered in blazing flames. In the fierce flames, beautiful flowers bloomed one after another, forming a spectacle of a sea of flames and flowers. In the flames, the fragrance of flowers rises, without any burning heat, refreshing the heart and mind. This scene was so weird that Lin Moyu was also a little shocked. These flowers gave him the feeling that they were not like normal flowers in the big world. Lin Moyu thought of the flower of the other side in the skeleton hell. The flower of the other side grows on both sides of the Hellfire River. The flames in the river of Hellfire will also burn the flower of the other side, but the flower of the other side is not afraid of fire at all. The stronger the flames of hell burn, the more beautiful the flowers become. My own flower of the other shore and the flower of flame in front of me are similar in approach and purpose. Lin Moyu flew forward. The space behind the whirlpool was not small, and he could not see the end at a glance. The rules here have changed again, the lines of the rules are no longer continuous, and Lin Moyu cannot hide himself. In this case, just be generous. The skeleton god will continue to fly out and fly in all directions to explore the terrain. Sending out the skeleton god general is Lin Moyu's instinctive operation. Whether it is the previous copy or the later secret realm, Lin Moyu's first reaction is to let the skeleton explore the path, check all the terrain clearly, and be aware of it. The skeleton god will continue to gather the terrain maps. This space is a large plain with no ups and downs and no mountains. It seemed that there were only flames. Even if there had been a mountain, it would have been destroyed by the flames. After the skeleton god general flew a certain distance, a message suddenly came that the god general had discovered a river. Lin Moyu immediately passed by, and a few seconds later, he saw the river. The river water is extremely clear and can be seen to the bottom, flowing in this land full of flames. The flames did not burn the river, and the river did not extinguish the flames. The two seemed extremely harmonious. The main idea was that you flow yours, and I burn mine. With the river, there is a reference. Lin Moyu follows the direction of the river and goes upstream. The river became wider and wider, from a few hundred meters in width to thousands of meters in width, or tens of thousands of meters in width. At this time, the river has turned into a big river, and the clear river water is constantly rolling up huge waves, lapping on the shore. After advancing for a long time, the width of the river has reached 100,000 meters. This space is huge, and its scale exceeds Lin Moyu's imagination. After flying for a long time, Lin Moyu finally arrived at the end of the river. It was an endless ocean with huge waves rolling and roaring. In all directions, there are great rivers branching out, flowing in all directions. The flame ends here and continues to move forward. The boundless ocean world blocked the flames. The skeleton god general also finally explored the terrain in detail. In the center of this world is a vast ocean. It is not clear how wide the ocean is. It branches into countless tributaries, each of which turns into a river and flows in all directions. Where there is no river flowing through, there are flames everywhere, burning for who knows how many years. The world of water and fire. Lin Moyu thought of an ancient race. In ancient times, there once was a race. That race was called the Water and Fire Tribe. It was once very powerful, but later, for unknown reasons, this race disappeared. There is not much information about it. It is only known that the Water and Fire Tribe live in a world of two heavens, water and fire. Could this be the world left behind by the Water and Fire Tribe? The skeleton god will continue to explore, while Lin Moyu feels the world. There is a strange power in the ocean, which spreads along the river to the entire world, and there is also a strange power in the flame, which also spreads throughout the world. The two forces are intertwined and become a powerful force that is compatible with water and fire, and is more powerful than either one alone. It's like the laws of water and fire merge together, amplifying each other. After sensing Zhao Hao for most of the day, Lin Moyu got up and flew towards the center of the ocean. There, the skeleton god general discovered an island. On the island, there is a huge coffin. Lin Moyu flew to the island and looked down at the coffin. There are a large number of patterns engraved on the coffin, half of which represent water and half of which represent fire. This coffin obviously has a history of many years, and it exudes the aura of antiquity, reaching into ancient times. Lin Moyu speculates that it may have existed in ancient times. The person buried inside may be a powerful person from the Water and Fire Tribe, at least the Supreme, who is qualified to be buried inside. Finally come. The coffin suddenly opened, and a voice came from the coffin. Lin Moyu was shocked. There was someone in the ancient coffin. Wang Yang rolled up huge waves and rushed into the coffin. The flames turned into pillars of fire and fell from the sky. They also rushed into the coffin. After the coffin was completely opened, a huge creature that was half water and half fire slowly stood up from the coffin. After it got up from the coffin, it looked up at Lin Moyu. Although he has no eyes, Lin Moyu can feel that he is looking at him. Lin Moyu also looked at him. He was half water and half fire, with water on the left and fire on the right. He was about 100 meters tall. Lin Moyu can feel that he was once very powerful and still exudes an ancient aura. At this level, body shape is no longer important, and the body shape of a strong person can change according to his will. Lin Moyu is still thinking about what he said just now. It's finally here. Is he waiting for himself? Still waiting for the human race. Lin Moyu asked, "Are you waiting for me?" The creature from the Water and Fire Tribe said in a low voice, "Maybe, maybe not." Lin Moyu understood what he meant instantly. He was waiting for the human race, but not necessarily himself. He raised his right hand made of flames, and the flames rose and changed, eventually forming a ball of flames. This ball of flame is very strange, like a seed, but it seems extremely terrifying. Lin Moyu's pupils shrank, and he also raised his hand, and the burning world fire seed appeared in his palm. After these years of gestation, the burning world fire has become much stronger, turning from a small flame into a ball of flame. When seeing the burning world fire seed, the creature from the water and fire tribe said solemnly, "Master is right, you are finally here." Owner? Lin Moyu immediately thought of the mysterious owner. Taking the world burning fire as a token, if not the mysterious master, who else could it be? The creatures of the Water 760 Fire Tribe gradually became smaller, finally reaching a size of about 2 meters, and Lin Moyu also fell from the sky. Two people of different races established a connection through the mysterious master. He greeted Lin Moyu with the human etiquette, "My name is Shueihua, and I am the ancestor of the Shueihua tribe." Lin Moyu also responded with human courtesy, "Human Lin Moyu." I had already guessed about his identity, but now I was still shocked. He is actually the ancestor of the Water and Fire clan, the ancestor of a clan. How powerful he must be. The Supreme Being is inevitable, and the Heavenly Being is also very possible. According to the records, the Water and Fire tribe were once very powerful, so the possibility of the opponent being Tianzuan should be very high. But now, his power is no longer what it used to be. In Lin Moyu's perception, he is just similar to the other side. The ancestor of Water and Fire said in a low voice, "Master asked me to wait for you here and give you something." He stretched out a move, and the coffin flew open automatically. Under the coffin, there was a box hidden. The box is an ancient box, but it is different from an ordinary ancient box. There seemed to be a ball of flame flowing on the surface of this square box. The gray flame exuded the same aura as the burning world fire. But compared to Lin Moyu's world burning fire, the flames on the box are obviously more pure. The ancestor of Water and Fire said, "Everything the master wants to give you is inside. You can refine it with the world burning flame. After refining, you can open it." He seemed to be taboo about the flames on the box, with a little fear. Lin Moyu walked over, wrapped his hand with the burning world fire seed, and held the box in his hand. The flames on the box are so terrifying that they can burn the world and burn even the soul of the Lord. It would be impossible for anyone else to have access to this square box. The Holy Lord is not qualified. Only Lin Moyu, who also possesses the world burning fire, can pick it up safely. Lin Moyu picked up the box and whispered, "Besides, is there anything else?" The ancestor of Water and Fire said, "The master also said that you may need my help, but I don't know what I can do for you. I was resurrected briefly. I don't have much time, and my strength is less than 1/1000th of what I was at my peak. I am only on par with the Holy Lord." The ancestor of Water and Fire spoke calmly, as if he was waiting for Lin Moyu to say what he needed to do. He is not good at thinking. Perhaps he has been dead for too long and is no longer used to thinking. Or maybe, I am born like this and don't want to think. But it was also because of the appearance of the ancestor of Water and Fire that Lin Moyu became more aware of the power of the mysterious master. The mysterious master obviously calculated that he would come. No matter what method he used, he finally calculated it. So he left this thing behind, using the burning world fire seed as a token to keep it to himself. He calculated it, too clearly. It's not just that I'm coming, it seems that I'm coming. I need to take away the Dragon Ball. You can't take away the Dragon Ball directly. As long as the world of the Water and Fire clan still exists, I can't possibly fight against that world. If you want to obtain the Dragon Ball, you must first destroy this world, Eeg, and at the same time avoid the pursuit of the Demon Clan. This is the meaning of the existence of the ancestor of Water and Fire. Lin Moyu said, "Do you have any last wishes? Maybe I can help you realize it." The ancestor of Water and Fire nodded. He stretched out his hand, and hundreds of seeds flew out from the coffin. Each seed is about the size of a fist and looks like a ball of water, but at its core is a ball of flame. Water and fire are perfectly integrated in the seed without any overlap. The ancestor of water and fire said, "This is the seed of our water and fire tribe, if there is a chance in the future." Lin Moyu understood what he meant. He didn't want the fire and water tribe to be cut off. Lin Moyu took the seeds and responded solemnly, "Don't worry, as long as there is a suitable opportunity, I will let the water and fire tribe reappear and live a good life." "Thank you." The ancestor of water and fire thanked him sincerely and bowed to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu said, "Next, I need to trouble you." "You say?" Lin Moyu expressed his thoughts, and the ancestor of water and fire agreed directly without any doubts. A ball of flame exploded from Lin Moyu's palm, and the world-burning flame enveloped the world, starting to refine the small world. The ancestor of water and fire let out a scream, and the ocean flames rose at the same time, converging towards him. The aura of the ancestor of water and fire is rapidly becoming stronger, but this world is shrinking rapidly. In such a large world, it would take hundreds of years to refine Lin Moyu's world-burning flame. But now with the cooperation of the ancestors of water and fire, it only takes one day to refine it. The world contains the power of the world's origin. By refining the world with the fire of burning the world, you can obtain world crystals. World crystals are items that build a world of perfect rules and are very valuable. All the power of water and fire in the world gathered together, and the aura of the ancestor of water and fire became stronger and stronger, quickly breaking through the other side realm and reaching the Holy Lord. Lin Moyu discovered that after countless years of refining by the demon clan, these powers were finally taken away by the ancestor of water and fire and became his calendar area. A flaming red flower flew up, fell into the hands of the ancestor of water and fire, and turned into a huge flaming sword. Then, countless water flows also gathered in his left hand, turning into an ice sword. The aura of the ice sword, fire sword, and flame ancestor reached its limit. The limit of the Saint Realm, although not as good as the Demon Lord, is already very powerful. After all, he has been dead for countless years, and it is incredible to be able to reach this level temporarily. Outside the small world, within the barrier, the three otherworldly demons felt something was wrong. They felt that the power of the vortex fluctuated violently, sometimes getting stronger and sometimes weaker, becoming extremely unstable. What happened? I don't know, the whirlpool seems to be unstable. It's strange, it doesn't seem to have changed, but why do I have heart palpitations? Do you want to tell Lord Demon Lord? Don't worry, let's take a look again. The three other side demons looked at each other, and after discussing, decided to take a look at the situation. Only half a day later, the vortex exploded. Water and fire gathered in the starry sky and quickly transformed into the ancestors of water and fire. The ancestor of water and fire holds an ice sword and a flaming sword, and sweeps towards the starry sky with murderous intent. The expressions of the three demons from the other side realm changed drastically. They didn't understand what happened. Facing the murderous ancestor of water and fire, they instinctively turned around in fear and wanted to escape. But it was too late, the fire flashed, and the three of them were miserable at the same time. The body was slashed by the flaming sword, cut in half on the spot, and cut into pieces together with the barrier. The flames broke out of the barrier and swept across the starry sky, spreading across the entire galaxy in an instant. 4 planets and 2 stars were swallowed up by flames at the same time and exploded. In an instant, the galaxy was completely burned, and hundreds of millions of demons died on the spot. No one was spared. The flames surged, and the demons from the other side of the world were still escaping with their bodies chopped into pieces. Their physical bodies had a never-ending impact on them. As long as the soul is immortal, you can survive. They were traveling very fast and were about to escape from the galaxy in the blink of an eye, but suddenly the three of them stopped at the same time. Their bodies were covered with a layer of ice. The ice was so cold that it was unimaginable. The fire is extinguished in the ice, and the soul loses consciousness. The ancestor of water and fire killed 3 demons from the other side with great strength, just like chopping melons and vegetables. The ancestors of water and fire rushed out of the galaxy and headed towards the nearest galaxy. The original galaxy has completely turned into a sea of fire, with no armor remaining. In the flames, a hand reached out and grabbed the Dragon Ball. Then the Dragon Ball disappeared. Lin Moyu left when the galaxy collapsed, and parted ways with the ancestor of water and fire. The three light talismans circulated, and Lin Moyu traveled billions of kilometers in a short period of time, then took out the battleship and dived into deep space. Used the rooms to shield the existence of the battleship and fly towards the distance. Lin Moyu sat in the battleship with a thoughtful look in his eyes. The Demon Lord must have known about such a big movement. With the Demon Lord's speed, it won't take long to arrive. The existence of the ancestor of water and fire is enough to attract the attention of the devil. I just don't know how long the ancestor of water and fire can hold out against the Demon Lord. The ancestor of water and fire said that he was resurrected briefly and did not have much time, but he did not say the specific time. If the battle is fierce enough, the time he will exist will decrease. If he does not fight, the time will increase. I hope I can hold on for a few more days. Lin Moyu cannot make a judgment and can only rely on luck. Half a day after the battleship flew out, Lin Moyu felt a vibration from space. He knew that the Demon Lord had arrived and had already dealt with the ancestor of water and fire. The battle between the two was very fierce. Although the ancestor of water and fire was only at the Holy Realm, he had stood on high places after all, and he had no shortage of secret techniques. If you fight against the Demon Lord, you will probably be able to hold on for a while. Lin Moyu accelerated away and flew in another direction. Time passed day by day, and it was already a month in the blink of an eye. During this period of time, Lin Moyu did not move at all, but carefully sensed the information transmitted back from the space. The battle between the Demon Lord and the ancestor of water and fire has continued without stopping. The power of the ancestor of water and fire still exceeded Lin Moyu's expectations. A month later, the aftermath of the fighting began to subside. Lin Moyu knew that because he was farther away, the overall wave he sensed was getting weaker and weaker. But as long as the aftermath is still there, it means that the two sides are still fighting, and the ancestors of water and fire are still there. The power of the ancestor of water and fire has completely exceeded expectations. As long as I can hold on for another month, I will be safe. Lin Moyu's speed at this time was much faster than when he came. In another month, he will reach the edge of the Demon Clan. When the time comes, there is no need for a battleship, and the concealment talisman is used to travel alone through the edge of the Demon Star. It will be difficult for the Demon Lord to find him. Lin Moyu has been waiting for another 28 days, with the last 2 days left. 20 days ago, there was no space fluctuation at all. Lin Moyu doesn't know if the ancestor of water and fire is still there, and he probably is gone. Suddenly, the battleship seemed to have crashed into a quagmire and was unable to move forward. Space is blocked. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and he quickly put away the battleship and escaped from the depths. The concealment talisman has been used immediately, and Lin Moyu has integrated into the law. He quickly adjusted his law frequency to synchronize with the blocked space. A few seconds later, the three-light talisman flashed past, and he rushed forward at a speed of hundreds of millions of kilometers per second. At this moment, he was sure that the ancestors of water and fire had dissipated, and the Demon Lord must have discovered that the Dragon Ball was missing, and immediately activated the barrier to block the space. Fortunately, he was not far from the fringe area at the moment. Even if he didn't have a battleship, he could enter the fringe area in another 10 days or so. As long as the Demon Lord does not come nearby for more than 10 days, others will not be able to find him at all. It depends on luck. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and the explosive luck technique was activated, and the sound of dragon roars suddenly sounded around him. Luck turns into a dragon. Lin Moyu pushes his luck to the extreme. Luck is something that, for most people, is mysterious and cannot be explained at all. But for Lin Moyu, it is very clear. Luck is a virtual force under the law of cause and effect. Although it is illusory, it does exist, but it is invisible and intangible to ordinary people. In the inheritance of Huan Wu Tianzong, the power of virtuality envelopes the entire world. All operations in the big world cannot escape his influence. It is like a pair of invisible giant hands behind the scenes, directing everything. As long as you are lucky enough and your strength is strong enough, nothing can be changed. If we take a broader view, put it at the level of the boundary sea. The big world seems to be controlled by the power of the void, and there is a bigger net that controls the bigger world. Of course, Lin Moyu is far from reaching this level. What he can do is to improve his luck to the extreme, and maybe avoid some trouble. After all, for many things, don't be afraid of 10,000, just be afraid of the unexpected. Lin Moyu never looked back, just moved forward. Explosive luck works again and again. Lin Moyu always keeps his luck at the extreme level. If the Demon Lord finds him like this again, he will have no choice but to consider himself unlucky. Time seems to pass very slowly. Lin Moyu knows that the closer to the edge, the more dangerous it is. If it were him, he would definitely put up defenses on the edge. In these days, Lin Moyu felt the aura of the Demon Lord more than once. It's just that the distance is far away, and the Demon Lord didn't notice his existence. Perhaps the explosive luck technique played a role, and of course the concealment talisman was also responsible. The combination of the two finally allowed Lin Moyu to reach the edge of the Demon Clan. The boundary in the edge zone has not changed at all, it is the same as when it came. Didn't the Demon Lord strengthen the barrier? It's normal if it's not strengthened. After all, the time is too short. The Demon Clan star field is vast, and he doesn't know which way out will go. Since I can come in, I can also go out. The Demon Lord should also know that the barrier cannot stop me. What would I do if I were the devil? Let him leave. Impossible. Since the Demon Lord wants to refine the Dragon Ball must be of great use. The Dragon Ball has been in his hands for so many years. Even if it has not been refined, it should not be difficult to leave a mark. Lin Moyu guessed the devil's method. The devil must have left a mark on the Dragon Ball. As long as you take the Dragon Ball away from a certain range, the mark will be activated, and then the Demon Lord will naturally know where the Dragon Ball is. But Lin Moyu couldn't help but smile. This kind of mark may be useful for ordinary storage items, but my own storage space is too special, so the devil's mark will probably not have any effect. Lin Moyu believed in his own judgment and rushed into the barrier with the concealment charm and disappeared without a trace. The Demon Lord was almost crazy, and the terrifying aura of the Half-Step Supreme spread throughout the star field. Lin Moyu could feel the space vibrating, undulating like ocean waves, containing the anger of the Demon Lord. Several months have passed since the ancestor of water and fire appeared, and the Demon Lord seems to have known that the Dragon Ball will never be found again. Lin Moyu walks through the starry sky silently. As long as the Dragon Ball does not return to Tianlong's hands, he cannot relax. Another half-month later, Lin Moyu completely left the Demon Clan star territory. He did not take out the warship immediately, but after being tens of billions of kilometers away, he took out the warship and entered deep space. The battleship flew straight towards the border. Now there is still 1 year before the planned war, which is enough for Lin Moyu to make a trip back and forth to the border. Moreover, Lin Moyu also knew that there would be no fighting on the front line until he returned. This battle is very important to him, and it is also very important to the human race. The 630th battleship was flying in deep space. Lin Moyu did not take it lightly. His thoughts were like lightning, and he put himself into the Demon Lord to think. If I were the Demon Lord and knew that the Dragon Ball was lost, the first thing I would think of would be Tianlong. Then just intercept the Dragon Ball halfway before it returns to Tianlong's hands. This is the last chance to recover the Dragon Balls. The Demon Lord's body will not leave. Once he leaves the Demon Star territory, the Demon Lord's strength will only be at the peak of the Holy Lord. Although his clone is weaker than his main body, it is still only weak, so he will let the clone intercept. No, it's not just the Demon Lord's clone. There may also be the Eagle Emperor's clone, the half-step supreme master of the Black Blood world. They don't know which route I will take, but there is no doubt that they will set up defenses around Tianlong. Lin Moyu felt that what he thought was correct, and the Demon King would definitely not be willing to lose the Dragon Ball. Facing the Demon Lord, the effect of the concealment talisman will be greatly weakened or even lose its effect. If you force your way through, you will have to face 3 saints. Maybe one of them is a half-step supreme. If they are just here to score points, then just force your way through. If the true body of the Black Blood realm comes, I'll be sorry. Lin Moyu considered various situations and was extremely vigilant, but in fact he did not take them seriously. After all, this is not a head-on life-and-death showdown. Lin Moyu is more than 80% sure that he can break through the encirclement of 3 people. The battleship is getting further and further away from the Demon Star domain, and finally it can no longer sense the Demon Clan's aura. Lin Moyu breathed out and began to check himself. Use the fire of burning the world to refine the world of water and fire, and get a world crystal. Now Lin Moyu already has 2 world crystals, one from the world of sparks and one from the world of water and fire. There seems to be no difference between the 2 world crystals. They are both excellent materials for building a regular world. In today's era without the Supreme Heavenly Lord, it is very difficult to build a divine road. The mysterious master left behind the method of building the divine road, but most of the materials had to be found by Lin Moyu himself. The arrival of Dojie is a good opportunity. It is a complete world, and we can obtain some materials that have become extinct in the big world. However, the mysterious owner seems to have some other arrangements besides giving Lin Moyu the world-burning fire. This character is so mysterious and powerful that Lin Moyu cannot guess what he is thinking. Lin Moyu took out the ancient box. There were no runes on the box, only an extremely thin layer of burning world's destruction. Although it is weak, it is very powerful because it comes from the mysterious master. Later, he was pressed under the coffin of the ancestor of water and fire for countless years. Being warmed by the power of flames in the world of water and fire, the fire that burned the world never weakened. Even the Holy Lord cannot touch 10,000 words. Lin Moyu knows that only he can open this box, and no one else can. What could it be? With a trace of doubt and expectation, Lin Moyu's palms burned with world-burning fire. His world-burning fire looks much weaker than the world-burning fire on the box, and the 2 are not at the same level at all. Even so, Lin Moyu's world-burning fire has become a key, the key to unlocking the box. With a soft click, the bag was opened. Lin Moyu narrowed his eyes. This is fire. In the box, there is a kindling. The fire looked like a world-burning fire, and was overall gray. But Lin Moyu recognized at a glance that this was not the seed of the world-burning fire, but the seed of the immortal flame. The seeds are only as big as a fingernail, hanging in the box, exuding a faint breath. The law of immortality is Lin Moyu's natal law, and the immortal flame can be called the natal flame. Many spells are driven by immortal flames. Lin Moyu has long been able to play with the immortal flame, and even uses it to refine weapons and make talismans without any problem. But what's the use of the fire in front of me? The mysterious master left a seed of immortal flame. What does it mean? Lin Moyu's eyes flickered. The fire was so inconspicuous, it was far inferior to his own immortal flame. The mysterious master will not do useless things. Since he left it behind, there is a reason for it. Lin Moyu couldn't figure it out. After thinking about it, he chose to believe in the mysterious master. Then give it a try. A line of fire flew out of his finger, and the immortal flame flew out and landed on the fire. The originally weak and helpless fire exploded with a bang when it came into contact with the dead water flame. The fire follows Lin Moyu's immortal flame and directly enters Lin Moyu's body. Lin Moyu instantly turned into a burning man, and all his clothes were burned by the immortal flames. Lin Moyu also didn't expect this change. The small fire seemed weak, but it actually contained such a powerful power inside. He felt like his whole body was being burned by flames, and there was constant pain. Lin Moyu did not panic, as it was impossible for the flames to hurt himself. The pain continued, and Lin Moyu discovered that his body was gradually getting stronger as the immortal flame burned. The purple gold body has already been completed, and its physical body alone is comparable to that of a high-level god. In today's era where the body is not cultivated, even if it is a holy lord, his body cannot reach the level of a high-level god. As Lin Moyu's realm improves, his physical body can continue to become stronger until he reaches the peak of the true master. But now, the purple gold body seems to be beginning to break through and transform upward again. Lin Moyu felt as if some shackles were burned off by the immortal flames, and powerful force surged out from the depths of his body. The physical body became stronger again and improved significantly. The purple gold body is covered with a layer of gray, which is somewhat similar to the death power of the immortal law, but completely different. There is golden light in the gray, exuding a noble atmosphere. Is this the purple gold body and the immortal flame fused into one? Lin Moyu was shocked. He felt that his body was filled with the power of the immortal flame. The physical body is indeed stronger. Lin Moyu feels that his physical body alone is enough to fight against the peak god. Moreover, the upper limit has been broken. When his realm improves, his physical body can continue to strengthen, including the other side, the Holy Lord, and even the Supreme Being. This immortal fire without a starting point actually contains such magical abilities. The immortal flames temper the body, and then go towards the soul. The fire of the immortal flame appeared in the soul world, and at the same time a voice sounded. The voice comes from a mysterious owner. His voice is so distinctive that you will never forget it once you hear it. This is the second gift I leave to you, the original fire of the immortal flame. The original fire can help you refine the purple gold body into an immortal golden body. The immortal golden body can be reborn with blood, and the physical body is eternal. Of course, you are only in the early stage of the immortal golden body now, and are far from the point where your physical body will be eternal. The second function of the original fire is to amplify your spells. You can choose a spell and integrate it into the original fire, and the effect of the spell will be greatly improved. As for which spell you want to choose, that's your freedom. The mysterious master's voice ended here, but left Lin Moyu with endless shock. Lin Moyu whispered to himself, he really knew that I would come, and the origin fire was specially prepared for me. With a calculation spanning 2 million years, this mysterious master is really too terrifying. Original fire is a good thing. It can be combined with magic to enhance magic. Lin Moyu felt the breath of the original fire and knew that this thing was serious. The amplification spell is not just a simple increase, it will cause a huge change in the spell. And this change will only get stronger, there is no risk. It's a pity that there is only 06 such a good thing, and there is only one spell that can be chosen. Lin Moyu's eyes revealed his thoughts as he patrolled the various spell white stars. He wanted to choose a spell to fuse with the original fire. It's just that this choice is difficult to make. There are too many techniques, and I feel like every one of them is useful. Things that allow the mysterious owner to stay must be very rare. I also need to be careful in my choices and maximize my returns as much as possible. But he can predict my arrival, and he should also be able to predict which spell I will choose. Why don't you just tell me? Lin Moyu suddenly realized that his idea was wrong. The future will change, and any choice may change the direction of the future. The future seen through the river of destiny is accurate most of the time, but after making a choice, it will go in a different direction. This is how I am now, and my own choices determine my future direction. So even if the mysterious master can see the future through the river of destiny, it is only one of the possibilities. He can't see people's hearts, so he can't tell me this choice. I have to make it myself. My choice is very important and will have an impact on the future. Lin Moyu became more cautious, analyzing the advantages and disadvantages of his own techniques and deducing possible changes. The sound of the Buddha's trumpet sounded, and the lich from the Buddhist country, who had not appeared for a long time, appeared next to him. The art of seeing the truth. As soon as his consciousness moved, the Buddhist lich immediately used the magic of seeing the truth. The art of seeing the truth once gave me a lot of help. Later, as my level improved, the opportunities to use the art of seeing the truth became less and less. Moreover, there were fewer and fewer things that could threaten his life, and Yuan Jinshu was gradually put on the shelf. Now Lin Moyu is once again using the art of peeking into the truth to find possible changes in the future. The magic of seeing the truth is activated, triggering the law of fate. In his consciousness, he integrated the original fire into the Skeleton King, wanting to see the possible changes. Boom! With a soft sound, the Buddhist lich collapsed on the spot. Lin Moyu was stunned for a moment, and died before leaving the battle. The Buddhist lich could not bear the backlash of the original fire and collapsed on the spot. The original fire is too strong. Even if it is just a simulation, it is not something that a Buddhist lich can withstand. As long as it involves the origin, nothing is simple. Fortunately, the lich in the Buddhist kingdom will not really die and will be resurrected after a while. It seems that I can only rely on myself. You can't count on the truth-seeing technique, so you can only deduce it yourself. Most of my spells are more or less related to immortal flames. But the ones most related to the immortal flame are nothing more than 4 spells. Summon the Skeleton King, Bone Hell, Gaze of the Dead, and the dead are resurrected. The Skeleton King's flame is just an appearance. It looks fierce, but in fact the power of the immortal flame has little impact. The Skeleton Hell has its own system, and there are subtle differences between the Hell flame and the immortal flame. The Gaze of the Undead is a soul attack, and the immortal flame is also just a form. The thing most closely related to the immortal flame is the resurrection of the dead. Lin Moyu's eyes are fixed on the resurrection of the dead. Resurrection of the dead is a very powerful technique. It can form an army of resurrectors, get a lot of information from the enemy, and make the enemies kill each other. But he also has a fatal flaw, that is, the duration of the resurrection is only 100 days. 100 days is really a short time. It can only be used for emergencies and cannot be used permanently like the undead army. If these 100 days can be increased 10-fold and 100-fold, the entire spell will become stronger. Lin Moyu is determined, and once he makes a decision, he will not change it. Hope you don't disappoint me. With a movement in his heart, an invisible soul force rolled around, wrapping the original fire and throwing it into the white star, the resurrection technique of the dead. The white star of the resurrection of the dead suddenly bloomed brightly, becoming brighter and whiter, illuminating most of the soul world. Not only was the soul world illuminated, the light even spread out of the soul world, illuminating a large area of void. Outside the soul world is a vast void, a large unknown land, full of mystery and unknown. This world is called the soul void. In the small world, there were demigods who went to explore the void of souls and never came back. Until now, Lin Moyu has not explored this unknown world. He had been to the small world once and almost lost it, and he had never been there again since then. As far as Lin Moyu knows, only System dares to penetrate into the void of the soul. System, like the mysterious master, is the biggest mystery. Later, he asked Holy Lord how, and even the Holy Lord did not dare to explore the soul void. At this moment, Lin Moyu's soul world looked extremely dazzling in the void. The entire soul world is glowing, and the peculiar aura of origin is permeating the air. Suddenly, a roar came from outside the soul world, and the roar came from a distant place. 880. Lin Moyu's soul eyes flashed with light, and he looked in the direction where the sound came from. It looked like a void with nothing there, a brief period of light followed by endless darkness. The roar seemed like an hallucination, but Lin Moyu was sober. He knew it was not an hallucination, and he would not have heard it wrong. There are actually creatures in the void of the soul. The creature was attracted by the original aura and roared, with a little excitement in the roar. Just now. Obviously, it is very interested in the original aura. Under normal circumstances, the original breath is blocked by the soul world and will not leak out. This time it was an accident. I don't know what kind of creature is coming. The resurrection of the dead is still changing, the light is getting stronger and stronger, and the original aura continues to leak out. Lin Moyu's soul world has become a bright light in the void of the soul. The roar gradually became louder, and the unknown creature was approaching. Lin Moyu gradually became alert, and the other party's voice was not only excited but also cruel. This guy who came here is not a guy who can talk and communicate. The other party came for the original aura. Finally, a terrifying creature appeared in the light. Dragon. Lin Moyu's eyes narrowed suddenly. What came was a giant dragon made purely of souls. The aura of the giant dragon is majestic, faintly surpassing that of the Holy Lord. There is cruelty in the dragon's eyes, and there is no sense at all. The giant dragon appears outside the soul world and crashes in the soul world. The soul world shook violently, causing thousands of stars in the soul world to sway. Over the years, Lin Moyu has been promoting the starlight refining method all the time. 1 star condenses every 10 days, 36 per year, and in 100 years, there are thousands of stars. The existence of these stars enhances the intensity of the soul world due to its magnitude. The original soul world of Lin Moyu has transformed into the prototype of the world of rules, becoming stronger under the shining of the stars. But now, facing the impact of the soul dragon, it is still trembling and roaring, and it will be broken at any time. The soul dragon kept bumping into each other one after another. He didn't breathe out the dragon's breath, but just hit with himself. Lin Moyu has seen the soul of Antares and knows that the soul of the dragon can also breathe out dragon breath, which is the instinct of the dragon. And the giant dragon in front of him has lost even his instincts. What else does he have left? Lin Moyu remained calm and did not panic at all. The soul-killing sword flashed past, flew out of the soul world, and pierced the dragon. The dragon let out a scream, and his soul was attacked, making him feel pain. But the soul-killing sword was not powerful enough to really hurt him. Lin Moyu roughly judged that this giant dragon might have been a peak saint, or even a half-step supreme, during his lifetime. His soul was lost in the soul void and completely lost its direction. The body and soul were completely disconnected. In other words, he was dead. But he was too powerful during his lifetime. Although his soul remained after death, from then on his soul lost its intelligence and wandered around in the boundless soul void. The pain stimulated him and made him even crazier. He opened his dragon's mouth, and sharp fangs sprouted from his mouth, and he began to bite the soul world crazily. At the same time, the dragon's tail whipped over, lashing the soul world like a whip. The soul world roared, and the circle moved more violently. The stars were no longer stable in the world and began to fly everywhere. Every whipping caused a dent in the soul world. The soul-killing sword returned to his hand. Facing the dragon's soul, the soul-killing sword was indeed powerless. Seeing that the soul world was on the verge of collapse, Lin Moyu still did not panic. He has the natural disaster scepter, not to mention that the dragon cannot reach the supreme realm, so what if it reaches the supreme realm? The natural disaster scepter can also knock him to pieces. But Lin Moyu didn't want to use the natural disaster scepter, and a group of gray flames appeared in front of him. The world-burning fire can refine the world, and it can also burn the remnant soul of the Heavenly Lord. If you use the world-burning fire to refine the soul of the Holy Lord, I wonder if you can refine it. With a thought in his heart, the world-burning fire pulled out a gray line of fire in the soul world and quickly flew towards the soul dragon. Just when the world-burning fire left the soul barrier, the soul dragon that was attacking crazily stopped violently. A trace of reason suddenly appeared in the crazy eyes, accompanied by a deep sense of panic. Huh? He actually recognizes the world-burning fire? Lin Moyu let out a light sigh, very surprised. How could this giant soul dragon from the void of souls still recognize the destruction of the burning world, even though it already knew how to be rational? Immediately, Lin Moyu realized that he did not recognize the world-burning fire, but felt the threat of the world-burning fire to himself. Just as he knows that the power of the source is good for him, he can also know that the fire of burning the world is dangerous to him. However, he did not escape, but stared at the burning world area vigilantly. The world-burning fire flew towards the giant dragon at a very fast speed, and the giant dragon roared and breathed out. Dragon's breath is instinctive, and it will be breathed as long as it is a dragon, even if it is the soul of a dead dragon. The dragon's breath is majestic, corrosive, and burning. The soul world is hit by the dragon's breath and begins to burn. The damage caused by the dragon's breath to the soul world is greater than the previous random collision. The world tree finally moved, and its branches flew out automatically and landed on the barrier of the soul world. A large amount of soul power surged out to repair the soul world. Since the creation of the world crystal, the world tree has absorbed the power of the world crystal, and its own power has increased a lot. Now the repair speed is very fast, not much slower than the destruction of dragon breath. With the world tree around, Lin Moyu is not worried about harm to his soul world. The world-burning fire passed through the dragon's breath and hit the soul dragon. The giant dragon screamed, its whole body ignited with blazing flames, and rolled crazily in the void. All of a sudden, it changed from the soul dragon to the gray fire dragon. The fire of burning the world burned with the soul, becoming more and more prosperous. Lin Moyu felt that the world-burning fire was getting stronger, burning the soul and absorbing the power of the soul. It turns out that burning the souls of the strong can strengthen the world-burning fire. There is no enhancement effect in the refining world. Lin Moyu immediately grasped the key point. The cultivation of world-burning fire is to burn the souls of the strong. The stronger the world-burning fire, the faster the world will be refined. As long as the world-burning fire is strong enough, it will be an extremely terrifying weapon. The soul dragon has completely lost its resistance and is wailing in the void. Its body is getting smaller and smaller, and its breath is getting weaker and weaker. Half an hour later, the powerful soul dragon was completely burned to death by the world-burning fire. Lin Moyu recalled the burning fire and found a crystal appearing where the soul dragon died. The world tree stretched out its branches and took back the crystal. The crystal is in the shape of a dragon, and it contains powerful soul power, pure and incomparable soul power. It has become a soul crystal. It's a pity that it's all the dragon's power. I don't need it. Lin Moyu felt as if he could not absorb and utilize these soul powers. The soul powers in the soul crystals were filled with the aura of the dragon clan. If he absorbs these souls, he will really have a life and death feud with the dragon clan. The dragon clan will believe that Lin Moyu killed the members of the dragon clan and will never die from now on. Dragons are hard to reason with, and they don't even listen to explanations. Killing real dragon clan members is the enemy. What a pity, this thing is harmful to me. What should I do with you? At this time, a dragon roar came, and the 9-color dragon soul crystal that had not been moved for a long time suddenly made a clear dragon roar. It circled around the world tree continuously, at a very fast speed, and the dragon roared in waves. There was a little bit of flattery in the dragon's roar. Lin Moyu understood immediately, raised his soul crystal and moved towards it. You want it? The 9-color dragon soul crystal once again let out a rapid dragon roar, which seemed to be an answer. Lin Moyu smiled slightly and threw the crystal over. The 9-color dragon soul crystal flew over fiercely, opened its big mouth and swallowed the soul crystal directly. After swallowing the soul crystal, the 9-colored dragon soul crystal let out a cry of satisfaction, swished back to the world tree, and coiled itself on one of the branches, motionless. It has its longan eyes closed, its whole body is blooming with 9-color brilliance, and it seems to be digesting. Lin Moyu suddenly discovered that another color seemed to appear on the 9-color dragon soul crystal. There is one more color among the 9 colors, and it will become 10 colors. 10 colorful dragon soul crystals? It's impossible, I never said that. As far as he knew, the 9-color dragon soul crystal was the limit. But now, the 9-color dragon soul crystal seems to be developing towards 10 colors. No one knows what it will be like after becoming Shirkai. In fact, Lin Moyu knows that the 9-color dragon soul crystal is very useful. It can temper and purify soul power. It can also help defend the soul when it is attacked. To anyone, the colorful dragon soul crystal is the supreme treasure. It's just that its effect takes time to accumulate, and my soul becomes stronger too quickly, causing the presence of the 9-colored dragon soul crystal to be greatly weakened. I don't know if there will be any new changes in the store after Shirkai. The 9-colored dragon soul crystal digests the soul crystal, and the light of the 10th color disappears and appears, which is not very stable. The whole digestion process takes a while and is slower than expected. Lin Moyu was not in a hurry. After confirming that the 9-colored dragon soul crystal was fine, he turned his attention to the magic white star. The integration of the resurrection of the dead and the original fire has been more than half completed, and some wonderful changes are taking place on the white star. The light of the white star became brighter and brighter. It originally only illuminated most of the soul world, but now it illuminates the entire soul world as bright as day. The soul world has become the brightest star in the dark night, extremely conspicuous. Coupled with the leakage of the original aura, Lin Moyu was really worried about whether it would attract the soul body again. If the one who comes is the Supreme One, he can still handle the world-burning fire. If it was Tianzuan who came, it would be hard to say. This unknown soul void is as full of mystery as the boundary sea. God knows how many powerful creatures exist in it. If there really is a Taoist master in the world, maybe his soul will be in the sky. Fortunately, except for the first unlucky dragon, no new souls came. Gradually, a touch of purple appeared on the white star, and the purple enveloped the entire white star. The magic white star became the magic purple star. Then the purple gradually deepened and became darker. The entire magic purple star exudes a noble aura, and its position changes accordingly. It rose slowly, flying higher and higher, surpassing other magic white stars, and reaching a position second only to infinite fusion. The purple light slowly shines through, connecting with the infinite fusion. There is a powerful original aura in the purple light. Lin Moyu looked at this scene and was slightly shocked. Is this a tribute? Even if the dead are resurrected and obtain the original fire and evolve, it is still not as good as infinite fusion. And it does so in a very obvious way to please. Infinite fusion did nothing but got part of the original power. Lin Moyu did not interfere. Infinite fusion has a very weak intelligence and has a natural intimacy with him, so he will not harm himself. Infinite fusion absorbed part of the original power, shook slightly, and disconnected the connection between the two. That look seemed to be saying, "I've had enough of this emperor, please step aside." Infinite fusion hangs on the top of all magic stars, like an emperor sitting high in the sky, ruling all magic. The dead resurrected and retired, rolling aside, selling its evolution. Another day passed and the evolution was finally completed. Lin Moyu immediately sensed the changes in the spell. When the soul comes into contact with the resurrected dead, the first feeling it gives it is that of weight, extremely weight. Magic stars have weight, planets are the lightest, stars are much heavier, agf, and white stars are even heavier. The difference between the three is almost 10,000 times magnified. Every time you advance to a level, the weight will be more than 10,000 times. The white star itself is hundreds of millions of times heavier than the planet. The greater the weight, the stronger the spell. Lin Moyu, who has experienced 3 changes, knows this very well. This time he became a purple star and gained weight again. Even though the magic purple star is small, its weight far exceeds that of stars in the real world. Even with my own soul power, it would take a lot of effort to move it. In the real world, with his soul power, it is not difficult to move stars. Lin Moyu has a feeling that if the magic purple star is thrown out, it will be enough to smash through any star. In the magic purple star, a ball of flame was also sensed. The flame hides the center of the purple star, and the original fire becomes the core of the purple star. The existence of the original fire allows the magic to possess some characteristics of the original magic, and its power is greatly increased, and it can be regarded as half of the original magic. This world is really amazing. Lin Moyu found that the higher his level, the more things he came into contact with, and the smaller he felt. The message came, and Lin Moyu saw clearly the resurrection of the dead after sublimation. Resurrection of the dead, original level resurrect the target using the corpse or soul as a medium, transforming the target into a resurrected person. The existence time of the resurrected person will be determined according to the Master's realm, 1,000 days. The resurrected person can enter the dormant state, and the existence time will not be reduced during dormancy. The strength of the resurrected person will exceed that of his previous life, and the specific level of transcendence will be determined by the potential of the resurrected person. The resurrected will self-destruct when killed in battle, and the power of the direct explosion will exceed its own limit. The resurrected person will retain the memory of his life, and the owner has absolute control over the resurrected person. Resurrecting a target that exceeds the Master's 2 realms may cause the target to resist, eventually causing the target to lose control. The number of resurrected people will depend on the Master's realm. The current maximum number is 1 billion. Seeing the news about the resurrection of the dead, Lin Moyu felt huge waves in his heart. He thought that the dead would become stronger in life, but he didn't expect to be so strong. The white star of the spell has turned into a purple star. The spell is not a purple star, but the source level. Resurrection of the dead has undergone a transformation like a reincarnation. The essence has not changed. It still turns the dead into the resurrected. The existence time has been directly increased by 10 times, from 100 days to 100 days. And this is only limited by your current realm. If your realm continues to improve, the time can be increased. And most importantly, the ability to hibernate appears. When the resurrected are dormant, their time will no longer pass. In this way, most of the resurrected person's biggest pain points have been erased. It sleeps when not in use and wakes up during combat, and its existence time is almost infinitely extended. The batch of resurrected people given to Mavericks before did not die in battle in the end, but all disappeared because the time was up. Lin Moyu will only produce a large number of resurrectors when needed. Now you don't have to worry about this problem. You can resurrect the target anytime and anywhere. When you are not fighting, just let them go to sleep and use it again during the battle. 1,000 days can be used as 10,000 days or even 100,000 days. In addition to changes in time, there are also changes in combat power. The resurrected person not only returns to the peak combat power of his life, but also has a more powerful combat power than his previous life, depending on his potential. As for how much it can surpass, each resurrector is different, and you need to try it to know. Lin Moyu couldn't help but smile. Unexpectedly, your strongest state will only appear after death. At this point, the resurrection of the dead has been abnormal enough, but the changes are not just that. The resurrected will self-destruct when killed in battle, and the power of self-destruction will exceed its own limit. This is also a powerful weapon, enough to increase the combat power of the resurrection core to a higher level. The final change is quantity. The number of resurrected people has changed from 100 million to 1 billion, which is also an increase of 10 times. The original number of resurrected people is not that useful. After all, their existence time is too short. But now, with the ability to hibernate, the more resurrected people, the better. Lin Moyu's first thought was to go to the borderland, kill all the starry sky beasts from other worlds, turn them into resurrectors, and form a real resurrector army. Unexpectedly, a source of fire can actually resurrect the dead and become my strongest magic. Lin Moyu couldn't help but sigh. The magic that was once ranked as useless but not very useful has now transformed into the most powerful magic. Under certain conditions, the combat power of the resurrected army has vaguely surpassed that of the undead army. The battleship stopped and floated from deep space. At this time, there is still some distance from the junction. There are no stars here, it is a void. There is starlight coming from hundreds of light years away, and it is already very faint. Lin Moyu waved his hand and threw out countless flesh and blood. The flesh and blood piled up into a huge mountain, which was difficult to count. The flesh and blood were left over from the giant starry beasts he killed when he went to the borderland before. At that time, he didn't know how many starry sky beasts he had killed and how much flesh and blood he had left behind. Later, some of them became resurrected and were given to Mavericks for command. There are still some parts that were originally planned to be used in the final battle, but now, there is no need to wait. Immortal flames exploded in the starry sky, covering Two's flesh and blood. Origin level magic, resurrection of the dead. Following the mysterious rules, countless flesh and blood began to grow in the immortal flames. Flesh and blood are reborn, and souls are reorganized. The giant beasts in the starry sky that were originally dead appeared in front of them alive again. The immortal flames continued to burn, and the starry sky beasts continued to resurrect, and in the blink of an eye, they were kneeling across a large area of the starry sky. Lin Moyu was surrounded by tens of millions of starry sky beasts. The starry sky beasts collectively overtook Lin Moyu and knelt down. Their attitude was extremely respectful and silent. If anyone sees it, they will be shocked. When did the starry sky beast become so obedient that it didn't even make a sound? What is the difference between this and a miracle? At this time, the creator of the miracle was very satisfied. He is indeed stronger than before, and the speed of rebirth is also faster than before. He discovered that after the dead were resurrected and promoted to the origin level, there was another change that was not mentioned, and that was the speed of resurrection. The speed of flesh and blood regeneration is much faster than before, at least 3 times faster. And the starry sky beast after resurrection is indeed stronger than before. He was a 3rd-level god during his lifetime, and became a 5th-level god after his resurrection. He had just entered the high-level divine realm during his lifetime, and reached the 8th level of divine realm after his resurrection. There are also some starry sky beasts of the peak gods, which have reached half a step to the other side after resurrection. Although he is not yet at the other side, he is indeed much stronger than before. If they died in the battle or exploded before their death, they would probably threaten the other side realm. Lin Moyu roughly counted that there were 16 million starry sky beasts in total. Moreover, they are all in the divine realm. An army of this size is enough to give any race a headache. And this is just the beginning. Lin Moyu threw out the containment talisman to put away all the starry sky beasts, and at the same time issued a hibernation command. In an instant, all the behemoths in the starry sky became silent and entered a dormant state. The starry sky beast in the dormant state is like a dead thing, without any breath at all. Lin Moyu looked strange. How do I feel? I've seen this scene before. Memories flowed, and Lin Moyu remembered an experience he had. In the memory of a long time ago, he saw countless coffins in an ancient tomb in the Suzaku battlefield. There are a large number of skeletons in the coffin. These skeletons have no life and look dead. But under certain special circumstances, the skeletons will be resurrected. Now it seems like those are in a dormant state. In that ancient tomb, Lin Moyu also learned about some ancient things and obtained the control technique. The memories were connected, and now he knew that the control technique also came from the mysterious master. Could it be that the mysterious master has been planning something since then? It's not an accident that I obtained the art of control. It was also the method of the mysterious master. It's not impossible. Lin Moyu knew that his level was too low, far from the level where he could touch the mysterious master. I can only passively accept the other party's various arrangements. At present, it seems that the other party has no intention of harming him, and is always helping him. Lin Moyu didn't dwell on this issue too much. He entered the battleship again and continued to move towards the junction. An army of 16 million resurrected people was sleeping quietly in the containment talisman. 16 million is just the starting point. Sooner or later, the number of 1 billion will be filled up, which will truly show the terrifying power of the resurrectionist army. The 9-colored dragon soul crystal is still being digested, and the digestion speed is slower than expected. Lin Moyu doesn't know when it will end. The 10th color has been appearing and disappearing, and I don't know if it can really succeed. If it succeeds, it will be another miracle. If there are really 10 colors, Antares will probably be shocked. When will this thing come out? I don't mean 1 or 200 years. It has already passed. Isn't it because I can't get out? What happened in the small world? He didn't know what happened in the small world. He couldn't go there. He almost died the last time he went there. Antares said he was fine, and Lin Moyu believed him, but she didn't know when he would be able to come out. There are other people in the small world who don't know what's going on. Lin Moyu's thoughts were a little confused for a while. After flying for more than 2 months, the battleship finally arrived at the junction. The laws here change, the space becomes different, and the warships continue to sail in deep space. Lin Moyu activated the 3-light talisman and headed towards Tianlong's location at a speed of 900 million kilometers per second. The concealment talisman was still effective, and his appearance did not attract the attention of the Starry Sky Beast. In the border area, the Starry Sky Behemoths are densely populated, and the number is almost endless. In terms of the number of powerful people, the number of gods in the Starry Sky Beast is far greater than that of humans. Even if all the clans in the domain were added up, they would probably not be as powerful as the Starry Sky Beasts. Among them are a large number of starry behemoths from alien races. Lin Moyu wants to kill them all and become a member of the resurrected army. It's just that now is not the time, and this matter needs to be discussed with Tianlong. Killing some of them shouldn't be a problem. If you kill more, Tianlong will definitely have an objection. Half a month later, he was getting closer and closer to Tianlong, and gradually felt the unusual aura. He felt that a battle broke out here not long ago, and all the nearby Starry Sky Beasts disappeared. Many giant beasts in the Starry Sky died here. Although the traces of the battle were consciously cleared away, the consequences were still not hidden from his soul. It's the aura of the Golden Eagle clan. The Eagle King is here. As expected, they are waiting for me here. In order to prevent the Dragon Ball from returning to Tianlong's hands, the Demon Lord actually told the Eagle King about this. It seems that Tian Yubaju, the half-step supreme from the Black Blood realm, has also arrived. This place is not far from Tianlong. If there is a battle, Tianlong should know about it, so one of the 3 people must be going to contain Tianlong. Lin Moyu roughly guessed at the first thought that the person who went to contain Tianlong should be the half-step supreme of the Black Blood realm. Once they leave their own star domain, neither the Eagle Emperor nor the Demon Lord can do anything. In Tianlong's home court, they are no match for Tianlong. Only the half-step supreme is left, who can contain Tianlong at his home court. If Tianlong can't get away, the Demon Lord and Eagle Emperor can think of ways to stop him. Until now, they probably still don't know who took the Dragon Ball. They may think that they are Tianlong's subordinates. In this case, let you take a good look at what Tianlong's men are like. This will be the first battle after the promotion of the Resurrection Army. With a hint of coldness, Lin Moyu accelerated towards Tianlong's B. In the borderland, large areas became empty. When Lin Moyu came last time, the closer he got to Tianlong, the more Starry Sky Beasts there were and the more powerful they became. Last time he saw some Starry Sky Beasts from the other side realm, including countless peak gods. Mavericks had explained that the main reason was the big tree where Tianlong was entrenched. That big tree is very extraordinary. It emits an element that the Starry Sky Behemoth needs very much. Absorbing this element can make the Starry Sky Beast stronger. Therefore, in the 10 light years near the big tree, the number of giant beasts in the Starry Sky far exceeds that in other areas. But now, along the way, there is nothing, not a single giant beast in the Starry Sky. Needless to say, those Starry Sky Beasts must have been summoned by Tianlong. Until there were still 5 light years away from Tianlong, there was still no shadow of the Eagle King and the Demon Lord. It seems that the Eagle Emperor and the Demon Lord set the interception circle very small. I think so. The larger the scope, the more loopholes there are. Only by narrowing the scope can the interception rate be increased. If it were me, I would limit the interception area to the last trillion. This range is neither too big nor too small, just right. Lin Moyu puts himself in his shoes. Both the Demon Lord and the Eagle Emperor are smart. We are all smart people, and their ideas are not very different. The closer he gets to Tianlong, the more wary Lin Moyu becomes. When he was still 1 light year away from Tianlong, he finally felt the energy fluctuations. The space was vibrating, continuously and intensely, and Lin Moyu heard the dragons roar through the space. Tianlong is fighting with others, and it seems that he does not have an advantage. The person fighting Tianlong, who was constantly receiving blood ape energy, was the half-step supreme from the Black Blood realm. Lin Moyu stopped and sensed carefully that Tianlong occupied the home court and fought against half-step supreme, but it seemed that he did not gain any advantage. Tianlong gave him the feeling that he was at the peak of the saint. Even with the advantage of home field and the advantage of the Dragon Clan, he could only be barely equal to the half-step supreme. However, people in the Black Blood world did not dare to kill Tianlong. Ever since Lin Moyu knew the details of the Dragon Clan, he knew that no one in this world dared to kill a real dragon. The Dragon Clan coming from outside really can't be offended. Lin Moyu was not worried about Tianlong's safety. He sensed the positions of the Eagle Emperor and the Demon King through the fluctuations in space. But after some induction, they were not found. Obviously, they also used some special means to hide their aura. Lin Moyu believes that they must be there, and has prepared a dragnet waiting for him. Then let's see if I can pierce the net. Lin Moyu started up again and continued to move towards Tianlong. 1 light year takes less than 3 hours. The distance is constantly shortening, and Tianlong's aura becomes more and more obvious. Quadrillion kilometers. Hundreds of billions of kilometers. 10 trillion li. Lin Moyu finally sensed the aura of the Eagle Emperor. The Eagle Emperor suddenly appeared at the last 5 trillion kilometers, which was farther than he imagined. At the same time that he sensed the Eagle Emperor seemed to have discovered him. The Eagle King let out a sharp roar, and the roar shook the space, and the space surged like ocean waves, causing countless ripples. Lin Moyu merged into the law, and his whole body was enveloped by the power of time and space, as if he had entered another layer of time and space without being affected. I thought something wrong. Both the Eagle Emperor and the Demon Lord have clones, and there are more than one. They come to intercept with their clones. If there are more people, the range can be increased. It is true that the concealment talisman cannot hide even half a step from the Supreme Being, but so what? You only know that I am here, but you don't know who I am. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and a large number of starry sky beasts appeared in the starry sky. These starry sky behemoths look no different from ordinary starry sky behemoths. All of them are just gods, and I don't know how far they are from the holy ones. Lin Moyu didn't expect to rely on the starry sky beasts to kill the Eagle Emperor and Eagle Lord, as long as he could hold them back. The starry sky beasts he released this time were all high-level gods, with more than 100,000 in number. Among the 16 million starry sky beasts, there are fully 1 million who have reached high-level gods. The realm that is too low is of little use, and it is not even qualified to be cannon fodder. High-level gods can at least hold on for a while. 100,000 starry sky beasts suddenly appeared and started to kill the Eagle King. The Eagle King was obviously stunned for a moment. He didn't see where the giant beasts and the stars appeared from. Anyway, he appeared in a swish and then came to kill him. Lin Moyu did not look at the fighting situation and flew directly in another direction. If you want to leave, there's no way. The Eagle King roared, and brilliant golden light erupted, instantly shooting through countless giant beasts in the starry sky. The giant beasts in the starry sky were severely damaged one after another, but they still rushed towards the Eagle King fearlessly. They are resurrected, and like the undead army, they have no terror and no fear of death. They don't even feel pain and only know how to obey Lin Moyu's orders. Lin Moyu used the starry sky beast as a shield and rushed forward. The Eagle Emperor screamed again, with anger on one side and to inform his employer on the other. The giant beast in the starry sky was so fast that it rushed in front of the Eagle King in the blink of an eye. Go to hell. Although it is just a clone, it is still a saint. It can naturally kill some starry beasts in the god realm with ease. He flapped his wings, and a golden eagle suddenly appeared in the starry sky. The eagle crashed into the Legion of Resurrection, its wings like knives, instantly smashing a large starry sky beast to pieces. Boom! 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 Explosions occurred suddenly, and the Eagle King screamed and retreated hastily. After death, the resurrected person will self-destruct instantly, and the power of self-destruction will exceed the limit during life. The high-level god self-destructs, and the power of the god is at its limit. The peak god self-destructed, and his power reached half a step to the other side. Among the 100,000 resurrected beings summoned by Lin Moyu, there are still some who are half a step to the other side. Their self-destruction power has reached the other side level and can injure the Holy Lord. The Eagle King was stunned by the sudden self-explosion. He backed away and shouted, "What the hell is this?" He had never seen such a giant beast in the starry sky, just one or two, but just now there were hundreds of them like this. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and the starry sky beast spread out and flew towards the Eagle King from all directions. As a member of the Golden Eagle clan, the Eagle Emperor is extremely fast. The starry sky minister beast cannot catch up at all. Lin Moyu didn't want to pursue him at all. His goal was not to kill the Eagle King, but to hold him back so that he could pass by calmly. Eagle King's retreat gave Lin Moyu a chance. Lin Moyu rushed forward quickly. In just 10 minutes, he crossed 1 trillion kilometers and was still 4 trillion kilometers away from Tianlong. Flames emerged out of thin air, and the devil's fire burned blazingly in the starry sky, blocking Lin Moyu's way. The demon lord's face was revealed, with a sneer, "No matter who you are, don't even think about going there today." Lin Moyu responded with the Legion of the Risen. 100,000 starry sky beasts suddenly appeared in the void, rushing towards the demon lord like raindrops. The demon lord was startled. The appearance of these 100,000 starry sky behemoths was too sudden, but fortunately they were not at a high level, and the strongest ones were only half a step to the other side. The demon lord snorted coldly, "Just relying on these rubbish? It's useless." He wielded countless demonic fires, turning the void into a sea of fire and devouring the starry sky beasts. Lin Moyu sneered in his heart, "Let you burn." The giant beast in the starry sky rushed into the sea of fire without fear of death, bathed in fire, and continued to descend towards the demon king as if it was not aware of the pain. The demon lord was stunned again, and he realized that something was not right about these starry sky beasts. In that dazed moment, the giant beast in the starry sky had arrived, its breath became weak, and it was about to die. The Eagle Lord's voice came from afar, "Hide quickly." The Eagle Lord's voice came a step too late, and the starry sky beast was burned to death, and then exploded. The violent self-destruction overturned the sea of fire, which twisted and was destroyed by self-destructions one after another. The demon lord was also affected by the self-destruction and was blown away abruptly. The starry sky beast caught up again and continued to pursue the devil. The resurrected people don't care how strong the demon lord is, as long as it is Lin Moyu's order, they will execute it unconditionally. The voice of the Eagle Emperor came, "These guys will explode before they die." He was reminding the demon lord. Lin Moyu sneered in his heart, "Not only can he self-destruct, but he is not afraid of death." The Eagle King's speed is too fast, and the starry sky beast cannot catch up. The demon lord's speed is slightly slower, but still faster than the starry sky beast. Lin Moyu let the starry sky beasts surround him, using the resurrectors as human shields, and moved forward quickly. In the eyes of the Eagle Emperor and the Demon Lord, these starry sky behemoths have become hedgehogs and are difficult to attack. They distanced themselves and launched attacks from a distance. Lin Moyu also let the starry sky beasts disperse, and he would die as far away as possible. When the starry sky beast dies and explodes, Lin Moyu will take the opportunity to attack, getting closer and closer to Tianlong. Demon 07 Emperor and Demon Lord can feel the presence of Lin Moyu and roughly know where he is, but they cannot see Lin Moyu's body. But in their eyes, being able to control so many starry sky behemoths must be a powerful starry sky behemoth in itself, and a starry sky behemoth with extremely strong stealth capabilities. They felt that all actions were under the orders of Tianlong. No matter what they thought, it was impossible to connect this incident with Lin Moyu. After some entanglement, Lin Moyu broke through 1 trillion kilometers again, and was only 3 trillion kilometers away from Tianlong. Flames appeared again in the starry sky, and a golden eagle quickly approached in the distance. The Eagle Emperor and the Demon Lord arrived. In front of Lin Moyu, there were 2 Eagle Emperors and 2 Demon Lords. With Lin Moyu's eyesight, he couldn't tell who was the clone and who was the main body. Sure enough, after leaving the star domain of his family, even his body can only reach the realm of the Holy Lord. When the Demon Lord and Eagle Emperor were on their own territory, they had half a step to the supreme combat power. Once you leave your own star domain, your strength will drop sharply and you will become a saint. And their clones, regardless of whether they are in their own star field or not, are as powerful as saints. This has led to the current situation. The 2 Demon Lords and the 2 Eagle Emperors are both Holy Lords, and they cannot distinguish their clones. Lin Moyu was thinking about whether to use his trump card and kill them all. But when you think about it, it's a bit uneconomical. It's really not worth wasting your cards for this kind of person. With a thought in his heart, another group of resurrected people were released. This time, he released a somewhat large number. Fully 500,000 resurrected people who had reached high-level gods appeared and scattered across the starry sky, forming a huge battle circle. The arrangement of the starry sky beasts is particular. The closer they are to Lin Moyu, the higher the density. The further out you go, the looser it gets. This is to avoid accidental injury due to self-explosion. As long as the Demon Lord Eagle King launches an attack, the resurrected people will take the initiative to meet him and die. Their self-destruction after death will also blow up the opponent's attack to pieces, greatly weakening its power. This desperate style of play gave Demon Lord Eagle Emperor a headache, and they were unable to break through at all. As long as you dare to charge in, the starry sky beast will rush over desperately, and it won't matter whether you fight or not fight. Not only can they not get in, their attacks can't get in either. Once the giant beast in the starry sky is no longer afraid of death, it will be really terrifying. The devil took the initiative to use the devil's fire to evolve into a sea of fire, covering a large area of the starry sky. Thousands of starry sky beasts were burned to death in the blink of an eye, but the self-destruction of the starry sky beasts completely destroyed the sea of fire. Lin Moyu feels that this ability to self-destruct before death is really a bug. Typical, you can kill me, but you won't feel better if you kill me. Under the protection of the Resurrection Army, Lin Moyu continued to approach Tianlong, but the speed was not as fast as if he acted alone. One day later, there was only 1 trillion kilometers left to Tianlong. If they continue to get closer, they will be unable to stop them. The Demon Lord and the Eagle King finally made up their minds. They looked at each other and at the same time burst out with amazing auras and rushed towards Lin Moyu's position. Countless demonic flames boiled and swept across the starry sky. The Eagle King burst out with golden light and rushed out countless golden eagles, heading towards the giant beast. Lin Moyu snorted coldly, "Finally I couldn't bear it anymore." The giant beasts in the starry sky took the initiative to meet him, rushed into the sea of fire and sought death, and then exploded. A world of rules appears behind the Demon Lord. In the world of rules, the devil's fire boils, and at the same time, a trace of original fire rushes out. The original fire is exactly the same as the original fire of the Abyss Demon, except that the Demon Lord's original fire is more powerful. Lin Moyu thought clearly. It turns out that the original fire of the Abyss Demon Lord is only borrowed from the Demon Lord, and the Demon Lord is the real master. The person rushing over now should be the clone. The main body will not attack easily. I didn't expect that the clone also has a world of rules. The Demon Lord's clone has a world of rules, so should the Eagle Emperor's. Lin Moyu had just finished his thoughts, and the world of Eagle Emperor's rules was revealed. Countless golden eagles rushed out from the high mountains and dense jungles, turning into streaks of golden light and shooting towards the giant beasts in the starry sky. It's useless. Lin Moyu chuckled, and the starry sky beast took the initiative to meet him and die. In violent explosions, the sea of fire exploded and the golden light shattered. Amidst the chaotic explosion that filled the sky, Lin Moyu once again seized the opportunity to rush forward. The circulation of the three light symbols brought Lin Moyu's speed to the extreme. In an instant he exceeded 100 billion kilometers, and suddenly he stopped. The starry sky is blocked. Space has turned into a swamp, making it difficult to move. Only then did Lin Moyu realize that it turned out that the Demon Lord Eagle Emperor had other plans. And this arrangement is on the last stretch of the journey. At this time, because of their own breakthrough, the resurrected people were left behind. The body of the Demon Lord Eagle Emperor felt that Lin Moyu had fallen into the blocked space, sneered, and moved the people at the same time. Suffer death. Flames rose in the space, coming from all directions, mixed with golden light, and wanted to strangle Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu didn't panic, and as soon as his consciousness moved, more starry sky beasts appeared. This time there are not only high-level gods, but also countless less than high-level gods. They turned into dense flesh and blocked the attack. The starry sky exploded again, countless starry sky beasts exploded. The starry sky beasts that are not as strong as high-level gods are weaker and can be easily killed. Although the power of self-destruction is insufficient, a larger number is enough to wipe out the attack. Millions of giant starry beasts suddenly appeared, and the Demon Lord and the Eagle Emperor were stunned at the same time. This is impossible. They didn't believe what they saw. How could there be so many starry sky beasts that could self-destruct? For a moment, they felt that they were very unfamiliar with Tianlong and couldn't understand it. During the explosion, Lin Moyu was already adapting to the blocked space. Mastering the laws of space, coupled with an extremely keen soul, he quickly adapted to the changes in space. Another step forward, another 900 million kilometers. The faces of the Demon Lord and Eagle Emperor changed. We can't let him go, chase him. But the starry sky beast also took action at the same time to block the opponent. As Lin Moyu advances, he continues to release starry behemoths along the way, and there are countless human shields along the way. The more the two chased, the more desperate they became. Although they were powerful, they could not get past them. When there were only 100 billion kilometers left, the Demon Lord finally couldn't help but explode with all his strength. Leave it to me. He turned into a sea of fire, and the original fire rose and swept towards Lin Moyu. Along the way, countless starry sky beasts were burned to death and exploded, but he ignored them and killed them. Lin Moyu snorted softly, and a giant beast from the other side of the starry sky appeared, blocking the way of the Demon Lord. The giant beast in the starry sky was in the realm of the other side when he was alive. After becoming a resurrector, he has already opened up and is close to the Holy Lord. If you want to kill Lin Moyu, you must kill it first. The Demon Lord has given up and is making a last-ditch effort to stop Lin Moyu. He doesn't care who stole his Dragon Ball, he just wants to kill the thief and get the Dragon Ball back. The Demon Lord summoned the World of Rules and began to fight desperately. The starry sky monsters in the other side of the world collided with the Demon Lord, and they fought like crazy. At the same time, Lin Moyu summoned 100,000 starry sky beasts for assistance, completely blocking the Demon Lord's path. Lin Moyu keenly felt that the main body of the demon was slightly stronger than the clone. But it is not in the demon clan, so its strength seems to be limited. The human race, the demon race, and the golden eagle race, all three races are half-step supreme. Moreover, only within the star domain of one's own family can the half-step supreme combat power be exerted. It is very strange that the three tribes are all the same. Lin Moyu has thought about the existence of the three, and what he can judge is that none of the three are normal life forms. There is no relevant record in the Human Emperor network. Normally this shouldn't be the case, it's just that there is no record of Xing Lao. There are very few records of the Demon Lord and the Eagle Emperor. The human race values knowing oneself and the enemy. Obviously, the Human Emperor network concealed this information in the room. Lin Moyu is very curious about the true nature of the Demon Lord, but he doesn't know it now. He will figure it out sooner or later. The Demon Lord is trying his best, and the world of rules spurts out countless demonic flames, burning his ministers. The space was burned to pieces, and the space turbulence in the deep space was flying wantonly in the starry sky. The roaring continued, and the resurrected people were killed one after another, and then they exploded. The self-destruction is very powerful and can destroy the Emperor's demonic flames. The Demon Lord used the world of rules to protect his body, resisting the explosion, and wanted to break out of the siege. 100,000 resurrected people were killed in a blink of an eye, and there was not much left. Lin Moyu also took the opportunity to advance another 500 kilometers, leaving only the last 500 kilometers away from Tianlong. This distance can be reached in less than 10 minutes. Golden light flashed, and the Eagle King's body flew towards him with golden light all over the sky. It also started to fight hard, flying countless golden eagles around him, and every day it was no weaker than the peak god. These golden eagles turned into sharp arrows, covering hundreds of millions of miles of starry sky. The power of rules permeated the air, the rules collapsed, and only golden light remained in the starry sky for hundreds of millions of miles. It is not easy to break through the golden light blockade, even the Holy Lord has to pay the price. Two roars sounded, two giant beasts from the other side of the sky appeared, and Lin Moyu threw out two more resurrectors. There are not many resurrected people in the other side realm, so one is missing. The resurrected person turned into flesh to see, Lin Moyu blocked the light. The moment the resurrected person appeared, a wisp of mist filled the golden light. The mist just flashed by, and as soon as it appeared, it was wiped out by the golden light, and no one noticed it. But just a wisp of mist allowed Lin Moyu to complete the lock on the Eagle Emperor. One of the characteristics of the Bone Hell, even the Eagle Emperor cannot avoid it. The Eagle Emperor and the Resurrectors from the other shore realm were fighting together. He was too fast and the Resurrectors could not keep up with his pace. Moreover, there is a big gap in their own strength. After just a few encounters, they have already suffered heavy injuries and entered a state of near death. Eagle King opened the distance and used his speed advantage to circle back and pounce on Lin Moyu again. The golden light in the sky exploded again, more powerful than before. The Eagle Emperor also summoned his world of rules, and the power of rules ruled the world. No matter who you are, you will die. The Eagle Emperor let out a sharp roar. The Demon Lord finally killed his opponent and chased after him. The demonic flame also transformed into a sea of fire, cooperating with the Eagle Emperor to attack. Lin Moyu once again summoned 100,000 resurrectors to act as human shields. The resurrectors died quickly under the double attacks of the Eagle King and the Demon Lord. The roaring sounds continued, and violent explosions swept across all directions. In the explosion, two seriously injured resurrectors from the other shore realm also came back and quietly approached the Eagle Emperor. Suddenly the Eagle Emperor's expression changed, and it suddenly changed direction as it was charging forward. But it was still a step too late, and a loud bang exploded on him. White Star Technique, Corpse Explosion. Lin Moyu silently detonated the corpse of a giant beast from the other side of the sky, directly hitting the Eagle Emperor. Even if the Eagle King is a saint, he will still be injured. During the explosion, the Eagle Emperor let out a scream, and the golden light all over his body instantly shattered. The resurrectors from the other shore realms sneaking over from both sides took advantage of the attack and pounced on the Eagle Emperor at the same time, biting the Eagle Tomb firmly. The Eagle King roared and exploded. The world of rules suddenly turned around, and the power of rules crushed it. The two resurrected people died on the spot, and then exploded. There were two more explosions, and the Eagle King retreated with a groan. When the Eagle Emperor was attacked, the Demon Lord suddenly felt as if he was missing something, but he couldn't tell what was missing. The dragon's roar sounded in Lin Moyu's ears, and the explosive luck technique had been activated. In the explosive luck technique, the devil's luck was originally 45, which was green, neither good nor bad. Lin Moyu went all out and forced the devil's luck to 20, turning his luck into gray and causing bad luck one after another. His own luck has been improved to the extreme, while the Demon Lord's luck has been weakened to the extreme. The difference in luck between the two is more than 80 points, or even more. You're going to be in trouble. The explosive luck technique is activated, attracting the attack of the law of cause and effect. Using good luck to attack bad luck is like a ruthless crushing of strength. If it weren't for Lin Moyu's lack of realm, just his bad luck would be enough to kill the king instantly. The causal attack came, and the Demon Lord groaned. His soul was attacked, and his soul was injured on the spot. The Demon Lord's big face was distorted, and countless flames were sprayed out, which was his blood. The Demon Lord's expression was ferocious and terrifying, with panic in his eyes. This attack is very strange and cannot be defended, and all soul magic weapons seem to have lost their effect. The power of the void. How is it possible? How can someone control the virtual calendar area? Is it a magic weapon left over from ancient times? The Demon Lord has lived for countless years, and he actually recognized this as the power of the void. It was precisely because he recognized Su's power that he became even more frightened. The power of the void has now become a legend. It is a power that only some powerful supreme beings can master. As far as he knew, even in ancient times, not many people could master the power of the void. There are not many magic weapons related to Su, and they are basically in Wei Zun's hands. It is even rarer to be able to stay until now. The appearance of illusory power gave the Demon Lord a creepy feeling. He immediately thought of Tianlong. He knew the identity of Tianlong. He came from the Dragon Clan. He also knew a little bit about the details of the Dragon Clan. This is a very terrifying and powerful race. It is not impossible if Tianlong can use some virtual power. The Demon Lord, Wang Zhao Zhao, hesitated. He stopped, even if his soul was hurt, even if he was angry in his heart. But his reason told him that he could no longer pursue it. The Eagle King came to the Demon Lord wrapped in golden light and asked, "Why don't you pursue him?" At this time, the Eagle King was also injured, with a lot of golden feathers falling off his body, and he looked a little embarrassed. However, in the golden light, the feathers are being reborn and will recover soon. The Demon Lord sighed, "We can't chase him anymore. We all underestimated Tianlong." The Eagle Emperor realized something was wrong. What happened? The Demon Lord told what had just happened, and when he heard Su's power, the Eagle Emperor's expression also changed. He asked in a deep voice, "Are you sure you're not mistaken?" The Demon Lord sighed, "You're right, the Dragon Clan is far more terrifying than we imagined. It's no wonder that in ancient times, the human race in the big world could only accept the arrival of the dragon race. Let's end this matter here. If the Dragon Ball is lost, it is lost. I have been researching it for so many years and there is no result. In the words of the human race, this thing has no relationship with me." In less than 10 minutes, Lin Moyu completed the last 500 billion kilometers. The emergence of explosive luck technique prevented the Demon Lord from pursuing him anymore, which was indeed beyond Lin Moyu's expectation. He then figured out that what the Demon Lord was afraid of was not the explosive luck technique, but the virtual power. There were only a few people who could master the power of the void in ancient times, which was synonymous with power. If I had known it was so easy, I would have used the explosive luck technique to scare him from the beginning. 500 billion kilometers later, Lin Moyu saw Tianlong. Tianlong was fighting a man in black. The man in black was holding a long sword. The sword was slender and slightly curved. The sword was covered with bloodlines, flowing like a living thing. The half-step supreme of the Black Blood realm possesses astonishing combat power. He and Tianlong fought fiercely, and Tianlong took advantage of the home court advantage and could barely draw with him. Tianlong hovered above a big tree and never left. The big tree seems to be one with Tianlong, shining brightly and continuing to provide majestic power to Tianlong. At the same time, the light of the big tree can also help Tianlong resist attacks. Tianlong obviously only has the Holy Lord, but he can use the big tree to tie with the half-step supreme. This tree is extraordinary and has amazing power. In the starry sky beyond the two of them, floating in the starry sky, there were more than 1 million Poseidon starry sky beasts. These starry sky behemoths have died, and all that remains are corpses. Most of them are high-level gods, and there are 3 in the other shore realm. The 2 giant saint-level beasts that were originally guarding Tianlong were now dead and 1 injured. Seeing 450, Tianlong was extremely angry, but there was nothing he could do about the other party. After all, he is a half-step supreme, much stronger than Tianlong. Lin Moyu watched for a while and knew that there would be no results if the two continued to fight. Fortunately, there are many starry sky beasts here, and Lin Moyu is hiding among them, using the breath of the starry sky beasts to hide. It may also be that the battle was too fierce and the half-step supreme of the Black Blood realm did not notice Lin Moyu's arrival. Lin Moyu approached Tianlong and quietly came behind Tianlong. Tianlong suddenly sensed Lin Moyu, and he recognized Lin Moyu's breath. Before he could speak, Lin Moyu said, "First, I brought your Dragon Ball back. Let's work together to kill it." Tianlong trembled when he heard this, suddenly became energetic, and growled, "Okay." There was a loud bang, and Tianlong let out a dragon roar that shook the sky. The sound waves swept outward like waves, forcefully forcing the half-step supreme back. Dozens of phantoms of heavenly dragons appeared in the starry sky, and these phantoms rushed toward each other crazily. At the same time, a large number of starry sky beasts came from all directions. They followed Tianlong's orders and launched a fierce attack on each other. The scene was chaotic and crazy for a while, and Lin Moyu took the opportunity to take out the Dragon Ball. As soon as the Dragon Ball appeared, it flew towards its master. The Dragon Ball landed on Tianlong's skin and sank into the body in an instant, assimilating with the body. After obtaining the Dragon Ball, Tianlong's aura began to rise sharply. He was originally at the peak of the saint, but in the blink of an eye he completed the breakthrough and reached the half-step to the supreme. The world of rules emerges from behind Tianlong. Tianlong's world of rules is very simple. It is a mountain and a dragon. He built his own world of rules in the image of the divine dragon in the Dragon Clan. Lin Moyu looked in his eyes and felt like he had seen this dragon before somewhere. Especially that pair of eyes, they are a bit familiar. Dragon God. Lin Moyu chanted softly, but he didn't expect Tianlong to build his own world of rules based on the Dragon God. Tianlong's world of rules is very strong, especially after he reaches half-step supreme. The world of rules becomes even more powerful. In the world of rules, the Dragon God opened his eyes, with fierce intent in his eyes. With just a glance, the starry sky exploded, revealing the deep space. So strong. Is this the Dragon Clan? Lin Moyu was a little surprised. He originally thought that Tianlong should be very strong, but he didn't expect Tianlong to be so strong. The world of Tianlong's rules was dispatched, turning into a divine dragon and flying out, spitting dragon breath towards the supreme being in the black and heavenly world. The dragon's breath enveloped the starry sky for hundreds of millions of miles, turning into flames and burning brightly. Lin Moyu also used the explosive luck technique against the half-step supreme. Mo Shui suddenly had the same illusion as the demon lord. He felt as if he had lost something. The reality did not allow him to think too much. Lin Moyu pushed the explosive luck technique to the extreme. His own luck turned into a dragon, while the opponent's luck was reduced to gray. The half-step supreme of the Black Blood realm has about the same luck as the Demon Lord, with a full 43. In the end, his luck was reduced to 19 under the unreasonable luck explosion technique. Subsequently, the explosive luck technique activates the law of cause and effect and attacks, Aj, directly to the soul. Mo Shui groaned, feeling hurt inexplicably. At this time, Tianlong's rule world has been crushed. Mo Shui roared angrily, and his whole body turned into blood mist, blended into the starry sky, and disappeared. Lin Moyu sighed slightly, escape. Tianlong whispered, the guys in the Black Blood world are good at manipulating blood. They detonate their own true blood and can travel 10 light years in an instant. You can't catch up. Lin Moyu didn't want to chase him at all. He removed the concealment charm and revealed his true body. Tianlong took back the world of rules, and his aura gradually returned to stability. How did you get the Dragon Ball? Lin Moyu smiled and said, isn't this forced by you? I originally planned to find him again after a few years. Tianlong shook his head lightly. Someone once promised to help me find the dragon beads, and got a lot of benefits from me. But they didn't keep their promises, so I no longer trust others. Lin Moyu hummed, I understand. If it were me, I wouldn't trust others if I was deceived over and over again. So this time I went and brought the Dragon Ball back. Don't ask about the process. It's too complicated and involves some of my privacy. You also saw the Demon Lord, the Eagle Emperor, and that guy. Tianlong interrupted Lin Moyu. That person's name is Mo Shui. He is the garbage left in the big world of the Black Blood world. Speaking of this, Tianlong suddenly stopped. He found that he had said the wrong thing and said some information that he should not have said. Lin Moyu grasped the key point, and the Black Blood world remained in the big world. The word residue contains profound meaning and may indicate the development process and results of certain things. It turns out that guy's name is Mo Shui. Lin Moyu thought about it, but said, now, the agreement between us can continue to be fulfilled. Tianlong said, of course you can. I have always kept my promises. Where are the people you detained there? Tianlong once again summoned his rule world. His rule world was very empty, with only one divine dragon occupying most of it. In an inconspicuous corner, a group of men in black were unconscious. Then Tianlong spit out a ball of light, which tightly wrapped a magic weapon. When seeing this magic weapon, Lin Moyu had a creepy feeling. He felt that this magic weapon was very dangerous and could really hurt him. Even if he was resurrected, it would be of no avail. Tianlong said, this magic weapon is called the Eye of Dirty Blood. It is a thing refined from the filthy blood of the Black Blood realm. As long as the realm is less than the supreme and polluted by it, this life will be over. No one can save the true spirit when it is damaged. Even if the Heavenly Lord comes, it will be useless. And for existences like the Eagle King Demon Lord, the eyes of blood can directly cause fatal damage to them. Lin Moyu felt the power of the Eye of Blood and asked in a deep voice, there should be some restrictions on this thing. Tianlong exhaled, of course. Tianlong changed his position to make himself more comfortable. His giant body, which is tens of thousands of meters long, moves as smoothly as silk on this 100,000-meter tall tree. The forked branches did not affect him at all. Lin Moyu saw injuries on Tianlong's body, and many dragon scales had been broken. But these are just superficial injuries, and recovery is easy. Lin Moyu didn't take action to treat Tianlong. The Dragon Clan is proud of the Dragon Clan. If Tianlong didn't speak, he wouldn't be troublesome. Tianlong continued, there are naturally restrictions. First, the Eye of Blood is a one-time magic weapon, and it is gone after use. Second, the Blood Eye can only be used by people from the Black Blood world, and its power is closely related to the user. If you want to kill the Half-Step Supreme, you need to at least be in the other side realm and sacrifice your own life to do it. It turns out that this is the limitation of the Eye of Blood. To use it, you need to pay a price, and the price is not low. However, it is worth killing a half-step supreme and sacrificing a person from the other side. Tianlong continued, so, even if I give you this eye of blood, you won't be able to use it. Can't use it? That's not necessarily the case. Lin Moyu's eyes fell on Tianlong's world of rules. There are hundreds of strong men from the Black Blood realm there, including many gods and several from the other side realm. Lin Moyu said, "Can you do me a favor?" Tianlong exhaled, say. He is digesting the dragon beads, and the aura in his body is still slowly increasing. I found a dragon ball. I am in a very good mood at the moment. I have a very good attitude towards Lin Moyu. I seem to really regard Lin Moyu as a friend. Lin Moyu said, "Kill all these guys for me, but leave the whole body, okay?" Tianlong asked, "Are you sure?" "Sure." "Okay, as you wish." The dragon in the rules world moved, and it breathed out a breath of dragon breath at these guys. The dragon's breath was like a raging flame and began to burn violently. Their souls were burned to ashes in an instant, but their bodies were intact. Lin Moyu praised, "So strong." Tianlong said, "It's just the fire of the soul, nothing special." He threw hundreds of corpses to Lin Moyu, including the blood eye. Lin Moyu was not polite and directly packed them all up with containment charms. Tianlong asked, "When do you plan to find the remaining dragon beads?" Lin Moyu said, "I will look for the 2 in the domain after I deal with the demon clan and them. The 2 outside the territory may not go until I arrive at the Holy Lord. You have to wait a little longer." Tianlong nodded, "I'm not in a hurry. It's already good if you can find one." Lin Moyu said, "I keep my promises, otherwise I wouldn't be friends with Antares. Let me ask, do you still want the corpses of these giant starry beasts?" Tianlong said, "No." Lin Moyu continued to ask, "Can you give it to me?" There was a strange look in Tianlong's eyes. "What do you want them to do?" Lin Moyu chuckled, "I'm useful, just tell me if you can." Tianlong was not very happy. "Just take it if you want it, it's useless to me anyway." "Thank you then." Lin Moyu was not polite, took out the containment talisman, and summoned a skeleton god general to collect the corpses with the containment talisman. There are at least millions of corpses in the starry sky, and each one of them is a high-level god. There are 3 in the other side realm. After turning them into resurrectors, they are also a powerful fighting force. Of course, the number in the tens of millions is still too small compared to the total amount of 1 billion. Lin Moyu also wanted to get more starry sky beasts, but he didn't have time. Now that there are less than 6 months left before the planned war begins, he has no time to kill the starry sky beast. Lin Moyu collected the starry sky beasts and said at the same time, "After I finish dealing with the aliens, I may need to kill the starry sky beasts from another world. What do you think?" Tianlong stared at Lin Moyu. After a moment of silence, his eyes flashed. "Are you planning to cut off the cause and effect of the world?" As expected, he knew, and Lin Moyu didn't hide it. "Yes, I plan to cut off the cause and effect." Tianlong became more and more strange. "Why do you do this?" Just as Lin Moyu was about to answer, Tianlong interrupted Lin Moyu. "Don't say anything yet, let me see." As the dragon balls were reabsorbed and fused, Tianlong's aura had firmly reached the rank of half-supreme, faintly more powerful than Xing Lao and others. His eyes shot out a ray of light and disappeared into the distant starry sky. The secret method of the dragon clan, the wise eyes of the dragon. Lin Moyu recognized the secret technique used by Tianlong. Antares had also used this technique before. It is said that the Shenlong wisdom eye can see through everything, it just depends on the realm of the user. The half-step supreme Tianlong can naturally see many things by using his divine eyes. After a while, Tianlong put away the divine dragon wisdom eyes and whispered, "So that's it, the great world rune is indeed about to die." In this situation, even if you cut off the cause and effect, it's still too late. Lin Moyu said, "You have to give it a try, and the world is not completely hopeless." Tianlong pondered, "Everything has a glimmer of hope." "What you said is correct. You can indeed give it a try." In that case, after you deal with the aliens, help me find the 2 Dragon Balls. At that time, I will summon all the starry sky beasts from other worlds, and I will translate them as you wish. And as long as you retrieve the Dragon Ball, I can grant you a request for a Dragon Ball, such as helping you make a move. Lin Moyu's eyes flashed, and a smile appeared on his face. Thank you very much. I will help you find the 2 Dragon Balls in the domain. I am the person who keeps my promises best. Lin Moyu left with a large number of corpses, tens of millions of deities, 3 deities on the other side, and a holy deity. There are also eyes of blood and hundreds of corpses of powerful men from the Black Blood realm. These gains are more than worth the effort. The harvest was huge. The existence of the special Eye of Blood gave Lin Moyu an extra trump card. If his plan succeeds, then one of the 2 demon lords, the Eagle King, will definitely die. As for who dies, it depends on their luck. Outside the border area, Demon Lord, Ingchao, and Heyo gathered together again. All 3 of them were injured to varying degrees. The most serious injury was caused by blood, but he was the one who recovered the fastest. After all, he is a serious half-step supreme, different from the Demon Lord Eagle Emperor. The Demon Lord side, the Dragon Ball was finally taken away by Tianlong. Mo Shue's voice was cold. If he didn't get the Dragon Ball, he wouldn't be able to hurt me. The Dragon Clan is indeed very strong, and the borderland is no longer a place we can go. The Demon Lord said, it's a pity that I haven't been able to figure out the reason after studying it for so long. I really want to know the secret of the Dragon Clan. Eagle Emperor said, maybe it's a good thing that we haven't researched anything. If we really researched something, the Dragon Clan should come to visit us. At this point, they can only comfort themselves. The Dragon Balls have been lost, what else can they do? The Demon Lord said, I hope Tianlong will not interfere in the affairs of the big world. Mo Shui said, don't worry, it won't happen. The Dragon Clan has Dragon Clan rules, and they won't interfere with B. The battleship was sailing in deep space. Lin Moyu was sitting in the battleship, drinking tea slowly and thinking about what Tianlong said. Tianlong and Antares are somewhat similar. They seem cold, but in fact there is a lot of truth. And he often says the wrong thing and reveals some information. The remnants of the Black Blood world. It can be heard from this sentence that the Black Blood world must have been defeated back then. I don't know if the Black Blood realm has escaped or is broken. Part of their power remains in the big world, dormant for countless years, and they want to attack the human race again. If this is the case, the people in the Black Blood realm actually have different purposes from the Demon Lord. The Black Blood realm wants to destroy the world, and even turn the big world into a new Black Blood realm. The Demon Clan and the Golden Eagle Clan actually just want to destroy the human race. Lin Moyu carefully analyzed that although the purposes were different, the results were all enemies of the human race. Not only do they want to destroy the human race, but the human race also wants to kill 207 and them. Hurry, there will be results soon. Lin Moyu whispered, his voice extremely cold. His heart is falling towards the ice world, and in the next period of time, he will cause endless killings. For the big world, the more ruthlessly he kills, the better it is for the big world. But for those alien creatures, it will be a catastrophe. Lin Moyu didn't want to kill him, but he had to kill him. If you want to save people, you have to kill people first. The confrontation between the alliance of hundreds of races and the human race continues. I don't know when the atmosphere on both sides began to become depressing and tense. This was the case before the storm arrived, and the small frictions between the two sides began to decrease, which also heralded that the real war was about to come. The soldiers on both sides began to gear up for this battle, which they had been waiting for a long time. In the God of War fortress, Xiao Wu sat in the void with her eyes closed and was practicing. Mavericks and Lin Mohan were not far away, looking at Xiao Wu because of her protection. The gate of the God of War's fortress is closed tightly, and no one can enter at this moment. Layers of mist rose up from Xiao Xue's body, and a galaxy of laws emerged. Xiao Wu threw his body into the galaxy and began to cross the river. Maverick asked in an extremely weak voice, "Sister, what are the laws of Xiao Yuan?" Lin Mohan glanced at him. "Isn't it in your bloodline inheritance?" Mavericks thought to himself, if so, Mavericks would still ask you. On the surface, he shook his head. "What level is my bloodline inheritance? How could I have such a high-end thing?" Although he didn't recognize Xiao Wu's law galaxy, he could feel that Xiao Wu's law galaxy was very strong, much stronger than his own. Lin Mohan said, "Xiao Xiu's law galaxy is full of virtual power." Mavericks was slightly startled and tried his best. "What is that?" This was the first time he heard about the power of the void. In his inheritance, there was no concept of the power of the void. Lin Mohan said, "As long as you know the power of the void, you don't need to know what it is. Xiao Wu's law galaxy is very strong." Then she repeated, "Very strong." The small mist spreads across the law galaxy. The law galaxy is like a dream. The small mist is surrounded by the mist and gradually disappears. Lin Mohan and Mavericks couldn't see clearly where Xiao Wu was. They could only see the mist and hear the sound of waves coming from the law galaxy. Xiao Yo was a little panicked. "Sister, I can't feel Xiao Wu's presence anymore." Lin Mohan was calm as usual. "Don't panic, Xiao Wu will be fine, just crossing the law galaxy." She has confidence in Xiao Wu. "It's just a matter of crossing the law galaxy. It's not a big deal." Maverick stopped talking. He had no choice now but to follow Lin Mohan, the eldest sister, and wait for Xiao Wu. In recent times, the human race has begun to prepare for war. Almost most people received a rune card. The order they received was to follow the command after going to the battlefield and activate the rune card from now on. This is a military order and no one will violate it. But not everyone in the billion human army has rune cards. The runes in the human race worked overtime, but they couldn't produce 100 million runes in a few years. Only 700 million people can actually get rune cards. Among these 700 million people, the strongest is the peak god, and the weakest is the lesser god. After all the rune cards were issued, the sword master's order spread throughout the room. All warriors who have not obtained the rune cards will withdraw to the Suzaku Star territory. In other words, they do not need to participate in the next big war. These people are all god kings, not lesser gods. After this order was issued, although there were some doubts in the army, the military order was like a mountain and the orders were strictly enforced. In just 2 days, more than 300 million god kings returned en masse. The 1 billion strong army was suddenly reduced by 1/3, which immediately attracted the attention of the alliance of hundreds of clans. They didn't know what the human race was planning, and they didn't know that the people the human race evaluated were only people from the God King realm. The 100 Clans Alliance suddenly became vigilant. In the palace, the Holy Lord Bienin of the 100 Clans Alliance held a meeting again. The Abyss Demon Lord returned half a year ago, and the power of the alliance of hundreds of clans has increased again. There are now 10 saints in the alliance of hundreds of clans. 4 are from the Demon Clan, 4 are from the Golden Eagle Clan, and 2 are from the Bull Demon Clan. In terms of the number of saints, it far exceeds that of human beings. After all, there are only 6 opponents of the human race. Counting the God of War Bastion and Lin Mohan, there are only 8 holy saints in combat strength. But in terms of quality, the human race's Holy Lord is very strong. The Abyss Demon Lord's voice was as gloomy as before. The human army suddenly lost 1/3. At present, we don't know where they have gone. What do you think about this? The Black Gold Saint said in a low voice, I guess it's possible that I went there to sneak attack on the new homes of various tribes. The Holy Lord Blood Ox said, the saints of the human race are all here. How can they have the ability to sneak attack on their new home? The Demon Lord Eagle Emperor has a clone there. If there is no saint to go, no matter how many people go, they will die. 300 million seems like a lot, but if you give the Eagle Lord Demon King some time, he can kill them all. The saints of the human race are always under surveillance, and they will know immediately if there is any trouble. The Black Gold Saint said, "Don't forget that there are stars in the human race." The demon lord of the abyss denied the speculation of the Black Gold Saint. He alone is not enough. After leaving his clan, Mr. Xing also had the peak combat power of the Holy Lord, which was comparable to that of the Eagle King Demon Lord. But there are two of them, and Mr. Xing only has one. The combat power is still disproportionate. As for the Human Emperor Network, it has been ignored. It only has strong combat power within the scope of the human race. They thought about several possibilities, but none of them got an answer that was completely convincing. The human race suddenly lost a third of its team. Something must have happened. But what exactly is going on? Where did they go? In the end, with no results, they could only inform the Eagle King Demon Lord and let them strengthen the defense of their new home. After all, it is an army of 300 million, not just 3 people. No matter where they appear, it will cause quite a stir. After they began to discuss the upcoming war. This war was too important to them. Over the years, the human race has always had the upper hand, and all races have been beaten badly. Many races have been completely disabled. The alliance of hundreds of tribes led the war and almost all came out, with no guarantee of victory but no defeat. On the God of War fortress, several saints were also having a meeting. The Sword Master said, "All the golden armor ancient talisman cards have been distributed, a total of 700 million pieces. The strongest one is half step beyond, and the weakest one is little god." Tian Xingzuan said with a smile on his face, "Yes, in the past few years, several half-steps to the other side have appeared in our human race, and it is just in time to take advantage of this battle to start a bloody road. When the war is over, they should also go to the other side." Wu Xingzuan said, "Everything is ready, now we are waiting for Xiao Yulin to come back." Xingzuan Fu nodded, "It's almost time. Lin Xiaoyu sent out the Flying Sword Talisman a few days ago, and he has returned. Counting the time, it should be here in the next few days." After 3 months of flying, Lin Moyu finally returned. This time, the War Saint did not send out colorful clouds and did not greet Lin Moyu with great fanfare. Not many people know about Lin Moyu's departure and return. Except for a few saints, only a few on the other side know about it. Lin Moyu was not polite when he came back. He served the tea directly to the table and drank tea with several saints. Wu Xingzuan's cup is actually quite good. It gives birth to wisdom and can make tea automatically. Tian Xingzuan said, "Looking at you, the matter is done." Lin Moyu nodded, "Yes, fortunately I went this time, otherwise I might have been in big trouble." Several people couldn't help but frown when they heard this. Lin Moyu said that a big trouble would definitely not be a trivial matter. Lin Moyu told them about the Dragon Ball and the Eye of Blood, and the faces of several people became extremely ugly. Wu Xingzuan whispered, "It turns out that the Eye of Blood really exists." Lin Moyu asked, "I have never seen any information about the Eye of Blood in the Human Emperor Network." Saint Hao said, "That's because you didn't look carefully. The information about the Eye of Blood is there. He once appeared in ancient times. He is refined from the filthy blood of the Black Blood realm. He is vicious to filthy people's souls, destroys their futures, and divides their fields. The 07 database of information on the Human Emperor Network is vast, and it is impossible for Lin Moyu to have seen all of it. There is information about bloody eyes, so it is normal that he has not seen it." Tian Xingzuan sighed, "However, since the ancient war, the Eye of Blood has disappeared and has never appeared again. Unexpectedly, this time the Black Blood realm found the Eye of Blood again and wanted to use it against Mr. Xing." Lin Moyu said, "Indeed, if Tianlong hadn't stopped the people from the Black Blood realm this time, Mr. Xing would have been in danger. Mo Shui is a half-step saint. He will definitely take advantage of the war to sneak attack on our human race. When the time comes, Mr. Xing will definitely take action and get medical treatment. Indeed, if old Xing is killed by the Eye of Blood, the human race will be in big trouble. Xing Lao is a member of the human race and a being who protects the race. How could something happen? Fortunately, there is now a problem. Not only were the powerful men of the Black Blood realm intercepted and killed, but even the Eye of Blood fell into the hands of Lin Moyu. The gate of the God of War fortress opened and Lin Moyu entered. The Milky Way galaxy is magnificent and bright, surrounded by fog, and the small garden is still crossing the river. More than 2 months have passed since Xiao Wu crossed the river without success. However, Lin Moyu could sense that Xiao Wu was in good condition and was still working hard. Owner. Little words. Seeing Lin Moyu, Mavericks rushed over happily and took the initiative to fly to Lin Moyu and let him ride. Lin Moyu patted the calf's head and said to Lin Mohan, "Sister, please bear with me." Lin Mohan looked indifferent. "I'm just standing here, why bother?" Seeing Lin Moyu return safely, Lin Mohan breathed a sigh of relief and looked more relaxed than before. But she didn't ask about Lin Moyu's experience in meditation. She was different from those saints. As a sister, as long as Lin Moyu was safe, it would be fine. It doesn't matter whether things succeed or fail. Maverick asked, "Master, do you know what Xiao Wu's law is?" The eldest sister said that there is virtual power in the law, but Xianyo doesn't understand what the power of virtuality is. Lin Moyu glanced at Mavericks with a hint of weirdness. Mavericks seemed to have been hanging out with Xiao Wu for a long time, and the Sunpoint Starry Sky Behemoth's temper was gone. The current Maverick speaks softly, less like a starry sky beast and more like a pet cow. It seems that Xiao Wu has been trained well. Lin Moyu smiled secretly in his heart and carefully looked at Xiao Wu's law galaxy. His eyes suddenly shrank, and the power emanating from the law galaxy was indeed the power of the tiger. He clearly understands the true and false nature of the world and cannot make mistakes. But the power of virtuality is intangible and difficult to see with the naked eye. Unexpectedly, the power of the void can still materialize after it is concentrated to a certain extent. The law galaxy is the embodiment of the power of emptiness, and the power of emptiness contained in it is very majestic. Similarly, the majestic power of virtuality greatly increased the difficulty of crossing the river. Lin Moyu sensed carefully that there were differences between the surrounding forces. Based on Lin Moyu's understanding of virtuality, after careful observation and analysis, he finally knew what the law was. It turns out to be the law of luck. Lin Moyu felt that he must have read it correctly. Cause and effect, luck, luck. The three are ranked from high to low. Nature of cause and effect is the strongest, followed by luck, which can affect a race and a world. Luck generally refers to individuals and is relatively weak. Moreover, Lin Moyu has the most contact with luck and immediately ruled out luck. In terms of cause and effect, Lin Moyu feels that a small person cannot reach such a high level, and that is a realm that can only be touched by the Heavenly Lord. Therefore, Xiao Wu most likely understood the law of luck. Maverick still hadn't heard of the law of luck. He tilted his head and thought about it for a long time, but couldn't figure it out. Although Lin Mohan could recognize the power of virtuality, he had never heard of the law of luck. But she could feel that Xiao Yuan's rules were extraordinary. Lin Moyu sensed it carefully and said slowly, "Xiao Wu should be over soon. The law of luck is quite interesting." W. Lin Moyu is full of curiosity about the law of luck. His explosive luck technique has reached its limit. Perhaps he can use the law of luck to make another breakthrough. The human race is actively preparing for war, and the same is true for the alliance of 100 races. Because the 300 million soldiers of the human race disappeared, the alliance of hundreds of races was very nervous. The new home of the 100 Tribes Alliance has already deployed lines of defense. The defense line is composed of the Demon Clan's barrier, the Golden Eagle Clan's formation, and the Black Blood Realm's defense methods. The defense is extremely strong. The area where the alliance of hundreds of races currently lives is still a bit small, and they are just waiting to defeat the human race and take the human race's territory as their own. The alliance of hundreds of races, ranging from cultivators to ordinary people, are also full of hatred for the human race. Hatred turned into their actions and made them crazy. The demon lord said in a low voice, "Imo Shui, This time all of you in the Black Blood world are gone, and the Eye of Blood has been taken away by Tianlong. Our plan needs to change. Mo Shui said, yes, we cannot take advantage of the war to attack the human race. I can hold off Mr. Xing, but can you two deal with the human emperor? And among the human race, there are 650 large formations. These formations are left over from ancient times. They are extremely powerful and can consume you all there. The Demon Lord Eagle Emperor's expression was not good looking, because what he said was all true. Mo Shui said, now we can only defeat the human race on the frontal battlefield. I plan to go to the front line. There is no Xing Lao on the front line, and no one can stop me. I can kill the Holy Lord of the race, so the human race will be defeated. After listening to his words, the Demon Lord and the Eagle Emperor did not speak. Mo Shui continued, I know what you are thinking. You have your own rules. I can attack the Holy Lord, and Mr. Xing can also attack the Holy Lord. In the end, both sides will lose. But have you ever thought about whether Mr. Xing dares to come out if I am here? What he said was very arrogant, but also very correct. With him here, would Mr. Xing dare to come out? After all, he is the strongest person outside the star fields of all races, the only half-step supreme. Mo Shui was already a little impatient. He stopped talking to the Eagle King Demon Lord and said, this matter is settled. When the war starts, I will take action to attack the Holy Lord of the killing race. You two, guard this place. The alliance of hundreds of clans is still useful and cannot be disbanded for the time being. The Demon Lord and the Eagle King looked at each other, and they both saw a hint of anger in each other. Mo Shui was too strong, which made them very unhappy. But there is no way, Mo Shui is not them, he is the real half-step supreme. If you really want to do something, they can't stop you. At the same time, they also knew that Mo Shui was on the verge of breaking out because of this incident. The atmosphere on the front line became increasingly tense, and everyone knew that the war was about to begin. The gate of the God of War's fortress is always closed, and Xiao's crossing of the galaxy is nearing its end. During this period, Saint Hao came several times to confirm the time with Lin Moyu. The time of the war did not change. It did not change because the cabin crossed the galaxy. Lin Moyu could feel Xiao's state and there was no problem. With 1 month left before the war, Lin Moyu left silently again. This time, he did not leave alone, but took Xiaoxing with him at the same time. With 5 days left before the war, Lin Moyu returned silently. Except for a few saints, no one knows where Lin Moyu went or what he did. The starry sky became more and more oppressive, and both sides prepared their troops to attack. Lin Moyu can feel that Xiao's crossing of the galaxy is coming to an end, just in these 2 days. At the predetermined time, the God of War fortress slowly started. Countless warships moved together with the God of War fortress, approaching the alliance of hundreds of clans. When the human race takes action, the hundreds of races are also smart enough to take action. The two sides stopped tens of millions of kilometers away and faced each other tit for tat. 2 billion versus 700 million, in terms of numbers, the human race is completely at a disadvantage. But in terms of momentum, the human race is not weak at all. Especially the warriors of the human race, the weakest are all minor gods, and their quality is much higher than that of the alliance of 100 races. The two sides haven't started fighting yet, but their momentum has already been exchanged, with no winner or loser. Everyone knows that this battle is extremely important. The alliance of hundreds of races must win but cannot lose. If this war is lost, the alliance of hundreds of races will inevitably collapse. If the human race loses, they can only retreat to their own star field. Didn't see Lin Moyu. Where is he going? Why isn't he there? Is he hiding? Several saints from the 100 Clans Alliance are looking for the whereabouts of Lin Moyu. In their eyes, Lin Moyu is a great threat and must be killed as soon as possible. But no matter how hard they searched, they couldn't find Lin Moyu. Not to mention them, even the saints of the human race don't know where Lin Moyu is. The concealment talisman shrouded Lin Moyu, making it difficult for the Holy Lord to detect. The Sword Saint sneered, "I'm going to have a good fight this time. It doesn't have to be like the previous times, half of which was just for show." Because of Lin Moyu's plan, several saints were not happy. Especially for a lunatic like Sword Master, he was a little timid in beating him. This time, she wanted to kill him. Tianqingzuan glanced at her and said, "Be careful yourself. Lin Xiaoyu has already reminded you that if nothing happens, Mo Shui will take action." The Sword Saint said nonchalantly, "You know, I will pay attention to it. Isn't there a solution?" "I believe him." Saint Killer laughed teasingly, "When did you trust me so much?" The Sword Saint rolled his eyes at him and said, "I want you to take care of it. I rely on my intuition." Saint Hao said, "Young friend Lin said there is a way, so there must be a way. As long as Mo Shui dares to come, then he probably won't be able to leave without paying a price." The War Saint said, "Out of the 10 saints on the other side, we only have the combat power of 8 saints. Everyone, are you sure?" Fu Xingzuan shook his head, "I'm not strong in combat, but I can protect myself enough. If you can hold one person back, let me deal with the Lava Demon Lord." Lin Mohan, who had been silent all this time, suddenly said, "I'll kill the Abyss Demon Lord first." She has set her sights on the Abyss Demon Lord again, and this time she has decided to get rid of the Abyss Nansha. Tianqingzun said, "I haven't fought against the soul-eating Demon Lord for a long time. I'll get rid of him as soon as possible." The War Saint said, "I can hold back 2 of the saints of the Golden Eagle clan." Saint Hao shook his head and said, "Leave the Dark Gold Saint and Black Gold Saint to me, and leave the Purple Gold Saint to War God Fortress. You must deal with the Red Gold Saint with all your strength and kill them as soon as possible." The War Saint nodded, "Okay." Saint Hao's Void Realm Law is not good at attacking, but it is very powerful when used to trap people. The Sword Master approached the Hell Demon Lord again, and the 2 sides were old rivals. However, the Sword Saint Lord had kept his hand several times before. This time she planned to give him a good fight to let the Hell Demon Lord know that her sword was sharp. The Killing Saint laughed and said, "You guys from the Bull Demon clan, after you have dealt with your opponents, just come and help me quickly." After the opponents were assigned, the souls of the saints suddenly rose up, locking their opponents firmly. The expressions of several saints from the 100 Race Alliance changed slightly. They did not expect that they had already been assigned by the human race. As the same saints, they even felt a little bit of shame. They had been defeated repeatedly before. Although they didn't say anything, in fact, they had already lost a lot in terms of confidence. Only victory can wash away the humiliation that has fallen on oneself. Ding! There was a sword cry. Lin Mohan held the long sword in his hand and stared at the Demon Lord of the Abyss. A clear voice sounded in the starry sky, "Today, I will kill you." The Abyss Demon Lord's anger rose. He had been defeated by Lin Mohan several times, and he could not be defeated again this time. The Demon Lord of the Abyss did not dare to say any harsh words again. The previous few times he had said harsh words, the results were all disgraceful. This time, he wanted to avenge his past humiliation. In the silence, the war broke out. The saints immediately rose up and stayed away from the battlefield. This has become a rule. No one wants to accidentally hurt their own clan members. The people from the other shore are also moving away, and they are also locking their opponents. Many of them are old rivals, and they have fought many times. Compared with the previous encounter, the significance of this encounter is very different. Everyone was firing on all cylinders, not daring to hold back at all. The Demon Lord of the Abyss and Lin Mohan stood looking at each other. Dark green flames rose from the Demon Lord of the Abyss, and the world of rules suddenly appeared. "I am the Holy Lord. No matter how strong you are only on the other side. I will definitely kill you this time." The original fire burned fiercely, the starry sky was burned to pieces, and the world of rules became more and more powerful. Countless volcanoes erupted simultaneously in the world of rules, and countless fires of the abyss rushed out of the world of rules, trying to burn out the starry sky. The flames covered hundreds of millions of kilometers and engulfed Lin Mohan. Lin Mohan's cold voice sounded, "Playing with fire, you are too far behind." As she finished speaking, a sword light appeared across the sky and cut the fire of the abyss in half. A huge passage was cut out of the sea of fire, leading directly to the demon lord of the abyss. Impossible! The abyss demon lord's expression changed drastically and he retreated crazily. The abyss demon lord was shocked not because Lin Mohan could cut through his sea of fire, but because the sword Lin Mohan used was also a destroying sword. A sharp sword shrouded in flames cut through his sea of fire, making him unable to accept it. His flame is the fire of the abyss, and at the same time it is integrated with the power of the source, and the power of the flame is increased at least several times. The abyss demon lord whispered, "How did you do it?" Lin Mohan's beautiful face showed a bit of disdain. "I told you, you are far behind when it comes to playing with fire." How could it be done? How could Lin Mohan explain it? She has not waited in vain these years. All the laws have been sublimated into the power of rules. And because of the God of Rules stone, Lin Mohan has begun to build his own world of rules. Lin Mohan, who clearly understood the power of virtuality and reality, already contained the power of virtuality and reality in his sword power, and the power of each sword was incredible. Lin Mohan raised her long sword gently. "This sword will cut you off. Destroy the world with one sword." The sword light swept across the starry sky, and people on the other side, hundreds of millions of kilometers away, vomited blood and retreated. Everyone looked shocked and looked at Lin Mohan in disbelief. Lin Mohan's sword was too powerful. Not only the other shore realm, but also the Holy Lord was shocked. Lin Mohan's sword seemed to really destroy the world and the bad starry sky. Even if there is a star field in front of Lin Mohan, I am afraid it will be chopped into pieces. Several saints felt that even they might not be able to catch this sword. The Abyss Demon Lord was the first to bear the brunt and felt the deepest. The fire of the abyss was completely suppressed, and the world of rules was suppressed by the light of the sword. Ah! The Demon Lord of the Abyss roared, and his original power rose. He used all the original power he borrowed from the Demon Lord. Flames rose in the world of rules, turning into a flaming axe and hitting the sword light.